It is over.
I got to give you guys a La Greca. Welcome to the Insiders 1 year anniversary party. Oh, man. I am just shocked that it has been a year. I really am shocked that it has been a year already. Man, oh, man. Wow. It's just unbelievable how quickly time goes by. 1 year ago on 3/16, give me a hell yeah when we started this whole thing. Crazy, man. Well, let's get this party started, shall we? We're sorry we're a little bit late. Had some things at work and stuff like that. But we are all here. And welcome to everyone who is out there as well. We've got guests waiting, and we're going to get right into it. But before we do, of course, none of this would have been possible without my co-host next to me in the right square, Jeff. Jeff, man, unbelievable that this has been a year already.
Man, I went back through our channel and was looking at some of the old videos and everything that we did, and looking at how far we came, and just it's crazy that it's been a year. I can't even believe it, but we're here. We're just getting started. So, folks, just get used to us being around because we're going to be here. So,
That's right, man. That's right. You're not getting rid of our faces anytime soon. And one of our earliest interviews on the channel, and of course, ended up getting her own show with us, Jodie. Jodie, welcome to the show. Wouldn't be with what we are without Abby and Abby's window. So welcome, Jodie. It's unbelievable. It's been a year.
Who would have known that me coming on to talk about meeting Bray Wyatt would end up being what it's become today. And I love all you guys, and nothing really makes me much happier than getting to talk about Bray Wyatt every week. So one of the highlights of my week.
And it makes a lot of our listeners happy as well. One of our most watched shows on the channel. That says something. And then below me, I feel like I'm on Hollywood Squares again. Below me, in the left square, we have DJ B-Tazzy. Of course, Tazzy, again, our Impact streams wouldn't be what they are without Tazzy. So, Tazzy, go ahead, man. What is it? I know Tazzy's waiting to say it.
It's an Inside 1 year anniversary party, baby. Dude, that was a mouthful, by the way. Dude, I didn't know what to expect when I first did the interview. I didn't know what was going to happen after that. And then I got my own. Then I started my own channel early, 1 year early, by the way. And then all of a sudden, get folk on like, hey, you want to come on? And like next thing you know, here I am.
Here we are.
The party's in the party.
That's crazy, man. Azan saying, celebrate good times. Come on. Let's celebrate. Yes, Cool in the Gang. All right. So without further ado, because we can't keep him very long because he's got a date with Justice League. And dude, I don't blame him one bit. Let's bring in one of our guests who we've had on the show multiple times already. You guys all know him as the man who has done the artwork for the man that Jodie talks about every week. Kyle Scarborough. Bring in Kyle. Welcome, Kyle. How are you doing, man?
I'm really good. Congratulations on having a year of doing this. That's really impressive.
Thank you, sir. Really, really appreciate it. And look, our listeners enjoyed, again, one of our most watched videos on the channel still to this day is the first interview that we had with you. One of the most viewed videos that we had. And I can remember it like it was yesterday, kind of just sitting there fascinated by the stories that you told about those early days with Bray. So amazing that you're with us, and really thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to come and join us for our anniversary. Really, really appreciate that.
It's my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Well, Jodie, you and Kyle have some history. Jodie went and got a tattoo from Kyle, so
I'm getting another one in June.
So there you go. Kyle, are you staying busy?
Extremely.
I can imagine.
The pandemic didn't stop anything. Don't ask me why. I have no idea, but life just kept going on. You know, I'm fortunate that way. I know a lot of people struggled for a lot longer, and some still are, but it was just right back to work for me, so can't complain.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Look at the Wyatt t-shirt he's sporting there as well. Very nice. Very nice. I got to ask, and then I'll leave it to Jodie and the guys. So are you excited for Fastlane?
You asking me? I'm sorry.
Yes. Are you excited for Fastlane? Yes.
Yeah. I'm pretty excited.
Sure.
Aren't we all? Yeah.
Always loaded questions from us. We give. Yeah. We don't want to go too much further, and we won't. Okay. Fair enough. Well, go ahead, Jodie. I'm sure you've got some things that you might like to ask Kyle about.
Well, I mean, I don't want to know all the info from Kyle. I'm just excited to see you in June.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very excited about that. And I want to thank you for always being very gracious with me when I'm impatient about things. And just being who you are. You're such a nice dude and always willing to come on the show. And, you know, everything that we talked about when I got my last tattoo with you, you're just a dude, and I can't wait to see you again in June.
I mean, you're a fan, I'm a fan, and to have the opportunity to talk about it all of this with anybody is it's been a lot of fun. And so, it makes it exciting to be able to do this, to do this job, but then to be able to share that experience with other fans. And as I'm sure I've made known before, I was a fan first. So getting to do it now, it's a dream come true. It's I get excited to talk about it still. So you never have to apologize for that. Obviously can't talk about everything all the time, but if I could, I would.
Well, you've definitely been keeping us eyes glued to all your artwork, especially all the recent ones with all the different animals.
Yep.
Except for the witch one, which I couldn't look at very long because I got freaked the hell out.
But I remember you saying last time you came on the show when we said we were zooming in on all your pictures and trying to pick out little things, and you're like, well, that's kind of the point. So
Yep.
we've definitely continued to do that and analyze everything that you put out there too. Your tweets are right up there with Bray's at this point for me. I'm analyzing both of them. Anytime he says something, I'm all over it. Anytime you say something, I'm all over it too. So
yeah, I can only say, it goes. I'm not. I guess I'm not surprised at this point. I'm still somewhat surprised by the amount of people who will genuinely ask me for just information, and as if I'm not going to do that. I don't. It's still funny to me, of course, and I can't. So I will say that anything I ever share, for how much it may relate to anything, it's always I'm not spoiling anything, and I would never spoil anything. So to interject things or to tie in stories and whatnot, it's basically it's my allowance to create something with Bray's blessing, to share that experience, because as he so kindly put it, this is we all did this, or we all made this happen, or something like that. And again, my contribution is a fraction to any of this, but it's always so encouraging to have him be so supportive as well. So it makes it fun, and we get to share even more than what you might see on TV. It's still an extension of who he is and what he's put together.
yeah, for sure.
Awesome. Well, a lot of people in the chat are yelling out there saying, hello, Kyle. Hello, Kyle. Love your artwork. We have some people saying, so obviously our audience is also watching Kyle on Twitter as well, apparently. Jeff and Tazzy, go ahead, man. Any questions for Kyle?
Dude, man, your artwork, man, is incredible, man. Like, if I got tattoos, if I could, I'd move out there. That's how, like, I've been trying to get this Tasmanian devil tattoo done, but I'm like, nobody's open right now, so I'm like sitting here like, yep. Might make that flight. Might make that flight. But shout out to you on the artwork, man, because
Thank you.
I appreciate it. I appreciate all the art that goes out on Twitter. But shout out to you, man.
Absolutely. Thank you. I appreciate it.
No problem.
I have a lot of it on my wall.
That's true.
Right.
I also have the sketch of my tattoo that you did on my wall as well.
So did you keep the stencil?
Autographed for me.
I've got a question for you, because
What's up, Jeff?
honestly, I don't have any tattoos. I want you to be the first person to put some ink on me. So for those folks out there who may be interested in getting tattoos, they're like me and they don't have one. What, in terms of you going into that process, creating something that's unique, not necessarily taking something that's already out there, but what's that creative process like for you when you create, a piece of art that ends up as a tattoo?
A lot of what I do is a lot of photorealism, or just realism pieces in general. So the easy answer is sometimes I don't have to do a whole lot, honestly, because some people have an idea already established of what they want. But when somebody does have something that's meant to be unique or custom to them, absolutely encourage that. It's some people take it a bit too far and say, they don't look at anything online and find inspiration. Find inspiration. Find inspiration anywhere you want. If you find inspiration in what someone else has, even as a tattoo, much less artwork or just the world around us, then use it to stimulate your own creative ideas. And advice wise is that when you're putting together a concept and you have thoughts, and even if you feel like you have too many, find a competent person to work with, and then together is the idea that you guys can come up with a solution, both to the ideas that they present and of course what you feel you can create the most efficiently, and to really be able to allow yourself artistically to do what you do. I do say no a lot. So in my particular case, when someone as passionate as they are, I hate bumming people out. I'm so grateful that they want to see me, but I usually give advice on maybe another artist to go speak to, because that creative process and figuring out what you want, if you find the right artist that you can work with and someone that you trust, then that's when I think even if you don't know now what you want or quite how to approach it, find someone to communicate with who can put together that artwork for you, and it's easy sailing from there, at least in my experience.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I already know what I want, so I'll have to link up with. I'll just say it like this: it's Billy the Puppet.
Yeah.
On the tricycle, but instead of it being his face, I want it to be Chucky's face and him holding.
Love it.
Nice.
Hockey mask.
We can do that.
Okay. All right.
That's no problem.
We'll talk.
That's awesome. Awesome stuff. Well, see, you're getting some background into what Kyle does. That's fantastic. Kyle, and I'll just ask you a general question, because I know you're a wrestling fan overall, and I know you got into it a little bit. There's so much of it out there now. We talk about this all on our show because, there's so many choices for people to watch now. There's shows, it seems almost like every single day, one way or another. And the one thing we've tried to do over this past year, and I really hope it's one of the things that people kind of say that we've been successful doing, is just to try to have everybody just enjoy what they want to enjoy. And not, there's so much of, well, this one sucks and that one sucks. And, so I guess my question to you is, as a fan itself, have you been, I know you don't get a lot of time and probably don't get much time to watch as much as you may have done before. Yeah. Is there been anything else that may have caught your eye recently, like any of the newer shows that are on or anything like that you may have watched and, kind of piqued your interest a little bit? Or is it something that you maybe went back to in the form of wrestling, or anything else out there that may have been catching your eye that's been new?
Oh, sure. You're right in that I don't get a chance to see a whole lot. A lot of times I'll tend to catch the results of something and then I'll watch it back. Outside of course, trying to, always keep an eye on what the WWE is doing. Of course, I'm a fan in general, like you said. So I'll go back and make sure that I'm catching up on any big matches through NXT or AEW. I grew up a huge fan of Japanese wrestling. I can't say who it is at their request until we're done. But, just worked with a performer who has worked with New Japan and a lot of other prominent promotions. And I don't want to go too many details, but, there's certain relationships. I've been a huge fan of the product that Ring of Honor's put out since they started. I have the very first ever show on, I think, VHS still somewhere, and I still catch up on that. They're locally played on our station out of St. Louis. Yep. I get to see them all the time, a handful of. And then getting to even know some of the guys, the people behind the performers and so forth that's always exciting. It's exciting as a fan, and then you just get to know them as real people, and it's exciting to support it that way too. You're supporting people that you have a lot of respect for and who've been nothing but appreciative and respectful for what you do, and that's a really exciting relationship. But so the easiest way to answer is there's nothing I won't watch. If it's a sport of pro wrestling, I don't care at what level. That's exciting. Whatever you're a fan of, these kids they're going to be on our screens at some point. So you never know what you're going to catch. So the sport is so unique. It's not to be corny, but it's athletic, and it's acting, and it's theater, and it's drama, and it's a lot of crimes are committed on wrestling shows that seem. I'm pretty sure murder should be frowned upon, but somehow somehow Brandi can do that.
You mean burning someone alive? Yes.
Yeah, I think that's. I'm pretty sure, depending on what's in Florida, they do frown on that still. But you can commit homicide in pro wrestling, and apparently no one cares. That's insane. So no, it's fun. It is a bit bizarre to do so much with the Fiend character and then watch him get set on fire by the guy that I then release a T-shirt design with, like the following week. I felt kind of weird. I honestly expected. I've gotten some strange messages about that, but what can you do? I'm a fan first.
Yeah, and that match though was incredible. It's probably my favorite one of, well, definitely the year. But being able to have that athletic ability while you're on fire is just.
I think we even talked about that.
And you're like, what?
Yeah. I said before, I didn't know when the character debuted with the lantern and what was the debut period, the SummerSlam appearance. I didn't know. I hadn't seen the final lantern, even though I had helped design it.
Yeah.
So I still get to be excited and shocked. And one of those things I was excited and shocked about was he was on fire. I mean, there's a certain amount of repellent and protection you can do, but we all watched it. A lot more of him was on fire than I think. I don't want to say should have been. I don't pretend to know too many details, but what I do know is that you can't really come away from that too unscathed. So, as of right now, that's the last time we've seen the character and iteration of it. And,
88 days, Kyle. 88
yeah.
Who's counting, though?
Would you believe? A lot of people think that's my fault. Not sure why. I've seen a lot of people get really testy and be like, what the hell? Why is he? Now, I don't know why you think I have an answer for you. But,
Kyle's got him held up in his.
Say it again.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
It's crazy though, isn't it? Like when and like you were saying about being a fan, when someone that you really enjoy their work, when they're gone, it's like every day everybody's looking at stuff to try to see, well, give me some news. Give me some news. And that's where all these dirt sheets get the stuff, and that's what they take advantage of, because they know that he's a big name. They know that everybody wants to know, why hasn't he been around since that match, and so they're always they're guessing and they're doing this and they're doing that. But yeah, but you're like you said, it's fandom. And it's fandom, you're off to watch Justice League, and it's very similar to, superhero fandom, Star Wars fan, you know what I mean? Like any kind of that stuff that you get behind. And again, I just think it's fantastic that it's out there. I, being a horror fan, I absolutely love it. I love the horror elements of the whole thing. And, whatever he comes back as, I know I'm going to be amazed when it happens. So that to me, and I just read an article today about how this kind of could be one of the last big long-term storytelling things we get for a while, because of fans coming back. So, they're able to do different things without fans being there. And man, what a capper they're going to put on this. If this all leads into Mania, and then, this all just comes to a head at WrestleMania after all of these months, but it's really great stuff. It really is.
And I think too, and this seems obvious for me to say, but I think some people do need to really stop and appreciate. And it could be part of the not having the fans there and they're allowed to really stretch these things out. But what that character has been able to do as far as a creative process with, and I don't know, you can't speak to how many other in-ring performers might have had a bigger influence on their storyline. But it's pretty well documented at this point that, Bray laid the groundwork for this, and he put this together. We talked about it at great length already, what's gone into it. But also a lot of people don't know, and I'm sure I have no full comprehension of to the full extent, is how hard it was to get something like this approved. It is unique. It is different. And that makes it special, especially in a day and age of instant gratification. This is a character that needs that time to breathe. It makes the most sense. This isn't a character that should be on your TV every single Monday night having big, long programs. I don't work for the company, so I'll say it, shouldn't have the belt. These are things as a character that they have to make sense. And I've said before, I think you can kind of tell who's taking the creative reins at times with the character and what works, what doesn't. But it's a really impressive thing, and I think if we're truly allowed to see it fully realized, it's going to be one of the most impressive forms of storytelling that maybe the company's ever seen. But we'll see. And however it's working out right now, I hope it continues with fans or without. I hope that we're seeing when it's successful, it's coming from the mind of performers who care. And somebody like him, who's talented as he is, it's working. And as long as they can recognize that, we should hopefully see more of it and see it done the right way.
I think one of the greatest things about him as a fan, like I said, he's been gone for 88 days. We haven't seen him since December. He's still talked about every single week, even though he's not on TV. Alexa's doing, amazing things with Randy and all of that and the build up, and it's exciting. And he's still the most talked about thing every week, and he hasn't been on TV for 88 days.
You kind of touched on it too. No matter how popular they are, and it's not because of people don't care. And I don't mean to imply anything by saying if AJ Styles went off TV for 88 days, would fans want him back? Absolutely. I'm a massive fan. People are more frustrated now because they want it. They want it, and and especially because the storyline, whether they want to admit it or not, has them grabbed so much that they're aggravated to not getting that payoff quickly. Yeah. And it's everything from fans who just want to see him back, and I get that, all the way to more casual fans of the product who are that storyline gripped them, and they're aggravated they don't get to see that character back yet. That says something. That says something about what he's able to do with what they're and what they're putting on TV. Yeah, I can only watch so many times where Randy's puking up black goo. I want it too. I'm sitting here seeing it going, man, come on, I wish you do. But why is that? I'm excited to see it. I want to see the next step too. I want to see as much as anyone else does. So if you can make people care that much to get pissed that you're not on TV, it's pretty amazing. And I don't know too many people who could pull that off with outside of a character like this.
Absolutely. Well, hey, Kyle, we really, really appreciate all the times you've been on our show. Guys, if you haven't watched the other interviews that Kyle has done with us, make sure you go back and check out the first interview we had with him where he talks all about, we called it the origins of the Fiend. So go check that out if you haven't done so already. If you're new to the channel and haven't heard it, obviously check out Kyle on all forms of social media. Those of you who already aren't looking at his artwork, please go and check that out. It's amazing stuff. He's got stuff in the WWE shop as well that you can purchase if you want to have your wall looking like Jodie's. So make sure you guys go and check that out also. But Kyle, thank you for giving us some of your time tonight. I know you're coming off a long day of work. Go watch Justice League, man. I really want to go and see it myself. I don't know when the hell I'm going to get 4 hours of time to put aside, but I'm pretty excited about watching it myself. But man, thank you so much for all the times you've been on. We'll definitely have to get you on again at some point, especially when something big goes down, which we all kind of think pretty much is going to happen soon. So we hope to get you back on, man.
Well, I don't have 4 hours either, but I'll make 4 hours for Batman. So, but yeah, if we get a chance to talk again, especially once we see the next step in the evolution, then we'll talk.
Ooh, nice word. All right. I love it. All right, Kyle. Well, listen, man, thank you again so much, and we will talk to you soon. Enjoy the show, enjoy the movie, and keep in touch. And we'll talk to you we'll talk to you again, hopefully real soon.
Will do. Congratulations again.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Thanks for coming on, man.
Absolutely. Have a good night.
You too. All right, guys. We have been. We have another guest who's been waiting very patiently. She came on very early. Marie Shadows is here with us as well. Marie, welcome to our show. Hi, Marie.
Hello.
We interviewed Marie way back when as well. And of course, Marie is. She was doing a book. So a wrestling book, which we found very interesting when we were talking to you the first time. Obviously, Marie is an AEW fan. I know you like your AEW. So how's it going, Marie? It's been a while.
It has. First of all, congratulations on making 1 year.
That's amazing. It's crazy, isn't it?
It is, yeah, definitely. I mean, I've been trying to keep sane during the pandemic because, I can't go to any wrestling shows. I can't take my client JD out for anywhere for him to wrestle. So I have to stay home, do podcast episodes of AEW, and now I'm adding New Japan Pro Wrestling on it. And just hanging out in Chase Owens' Twitch streams. So I hang out with him now. So I try to keep sane.
That's really all we can do, isn't it? I gotta ask you, what did you think of the Thunder Rosa Britt Baker match last night? I loved it. It was brutal, absolutely brutal. But man, and it was hard to watch. There were parts of that were absolutely hard to watch. The tax thing, when they got thrown onto the tax, and Britt Baker was stuck from one part of her back down. And I know Jeff probably cringed as well. But what did you think of that match? I mean, everybody now today is talking about Britt Baker as possibly like a future, not just the face of the women, but actually they talked about it on Busted Open this morning and said she could be the damn face of the company at this point, which is crazy.
Well, I caught the highlights, so I'm gonna have to go back and watch it because my intention was to New Japan. But way before Britt was put in the situation with Thunder Rosa and she came back as heel, I was like, she got it. They have to put the belt on her like right then and there. Like I knew from that point she was gonna be great. The fact that she ended up taking the thumbtack spot and also getting driven through the table and I think also a ladder, it showed that she wants to put the women all together front and center. The women should have had their spotlight already. It should not have been an unsanctioned lights out match. I think those are going to be like the gimmicks in order to get something over like that. Like, I personally don't think that it should have been in lights out match. It should have been like a regular hardcore match, when sponsors get upset, so what? I'd rather see women go like 100% the same way that the men can go 100% without like the gimmicks. But that to me is definitely going to be match of the year. I'm going to add that to like my match of the year list.
Yeah, great. You're not the only one that's mentioned that. There are already people talking about that could be a match of the year candidate. So, yeah, man, absolutely. Well, tell us how how are things going with the book? Well,
since the last time you guys talked to me, I sort of it's on the back burner because I have a lot more wrestling to watch, and I'm writing a lot more notes in order to get all these podcast episodes out. Like I've been really like constant of like you guys are getting like New Japan almost every single day or every other day. So I can't really focus on the book. And then on Twitter, if you guys don't know, they do this hashtag called PitMad where like other authors would, put a synopsis of their book. And someone had a similar freaking storyline to mine. And I was like, what? Uh-oh. What's going on here? I should have like quote tweeted it and be like, yo, that's gimmick infringement. What are you doing? So like for those of you that are watching on all the social media platforms, so I'm trying to write a wrestling novel. It's called Rookie. That's the working title. And basically is that a wrestler is trying to find out who, killed his dad in the past. And for him to climb the ranks of professional wrestling. That's like the very basic storyline. So someone similar online has something similar. And I was like, really? Now I have to change up my stuff because something like similar. But yeah, I mean, it's still there. For the past couple of weeks, it's been bothering me in the back of my head. It's like, my brain is like, write it. Why are you not writing it? And I'm like, well, I'm going to stare at a blank page and nothing's going to happen. So, but it's been bugging me. So I need to get like back on it.
It's tough when I can see that. There are times when it's truly hard to keep up with all of the things that go on in wrestling now. And we were just talking to Kyle a little bit about that too. Like there is so much out there. And I mean, you're into the New Japan thing. What do you think of them working now with what do you think of them working with Impact and the things they're doing with Impact Wrestling now?
I think it's really good. Oh, what's up? Someone want to say something?
Nope, you're good.
Okay, cool. So I really think that it's a good working relationship that they have with Impact and that they sent Finn Juice over. So when I saw that announcement over on Impact, I was giddy. I was like, oh, cool. You know, we get to see Fin Juice. People get to see Fin Juice and see how they are. I just wish that the Impact shows aren't like taped in advance, because then they lose a lot of creativity that can happen in between the layers that goes on, because there's a lot more people that can help out by going over from New Japan to Impact, or Impact to New Japan, and then add in AEW and all that kind of stuff, and even maybe the LA Dojo, and have the Young Lions head over to Impact as well. Like, there's a lot of creativity that's missing in those layers. If like Impact is still taped, but I just think that there's a lot of creativity missing. It's good for business. It's good to get their name out there, but creativity.
Very true. We're big Impact fans. Jeff and I have been doing a lot of work with Impact, so it's cool to see, and it's like, you just wonder where all of this is going, and we've talked about that, the stuff with Kenny, and what now is going to, because now you've got this thing built up title for title. Is Kenny really going to take all these belts, or can, the underdog now that they're building Rich Swann up to be, especially after beating Moose, is, now people are kind of starting to think, well, wait a minute, maybe he actually can beat Kenny Omega. So it's really cool to think of all this is going on. And Jeff, I know, had mentioned several times, maybe this is leading even past Rebellion, where they end up in Japan, and a lot of, where you have some people from Impact, some people from AEW, and they all go to Japan and have just something gigantic over there. I know Jeff's mentioned that a bunch.
I would like to mention too that they are going to be in the Tokyo Dome in May. So it could lead up to that. It's not going to be like, a Wrestle Kingdom, but it's going to be a Tokyo Dome. As far as this matchup between Swann and Omega, it could be 50-50, like a toss-up in the air, because, it's too early in the year to have Kenny Omega take all the belts. The same way that it's too early in the year for Jay White to get the belt off of Kota, when Kota has unified it. So all these stories are definitely going to come to a head at one point or another later on in the year, rather than like at the beginning of the year. And I had thrown out a little thing on my side of the podcasting world, is that like maybe we're, when Kenny collects like all the belts, because Kenny hasn't said a thing about the unification in New Japan Pro Wrestling. So I automatically was like, well, then Kota is automatically heel. We have Kenny Omega as heel. When they finally meet up somewhere down the line in this year, it's going to be like the heel golden lovers, like taking over professional wrestling. And then you're going to have all your baby faces and all your heroes come in and like take it back and like bring all this light in rather than have darkness in. So
look at Jeff shaking his head down there on the bottom of the screen. Oh, Jeff,
because you see, Jeff knows. Jeff knows. I laid it out on my podcast too, and I was just like, "Yep, this has to be it. Like this is a superhero story that like we're in. Like if you really immerse yourself in it."
When you see stuff happening in the world around you, and you see things happen in the entertainment industry, why not copy something like that? You just got a film like Endgame that brought everything together, and you had them all rise up against this big villain. And oh my God, you saw reactions from people all over the world in that theater, cheering and screaming and if you can get that kind of a thing in the wrestling business, Jeff, why the hell not?
Pretty much, right? It's like, Hollywood 101. You got to make people feel something to get attached to it, and not just be like, here, we're going to feed you all the information. No, we're going to give you breadcrumbs. We're going to give you enough. You just got to follow along.
Long-term storytelling.
Yes, when done right. When done right.
when done correctly, yes. And it's funny because it's almost like we're sharing a brain when talking about that, because I've been saying that same thing.
Yeah.
In terms of, why not have the heels just come out on top for right now, and it's got to be good versus evil. That's what, honestly, that's what sells right now.
Definitely.
Versus evil. If you look at media, it's good versus evil. Whatever side you want to pick. We won't get into, the weeds of that, but it's, good versus evil. So as a wrestling fan, if I see that in my day-to-day life, obviously that's going to resonate with me when I'm watching a wrestling show. And, and I think a lot of times people, they underestimate the power of a really good heel. Because if that heel, every time their name is mentioned or I see their face, I'm like, crap, I really hate that person. They've done their job.
Yeah, definitely.
Exactly what they want to do. I've got to ask this, and I know you shared this with me via DMs, but
yeah,
that episode that you put together, that you sent me, you had me kind of read your show notes.
Oh wait, you talking about the script I sent you?
Yeah.
I sent you a script.
Yeah, I've got to say this, and this is not a question. I'm going to let somebody else ask a question. I'm just going to make a statement. If there's any wrestling company that is listening to or watching this at the moment, please contact Marie, because her mind for wrestling is brilliant, and she needs to be a writer somewhere. So at some point, someone needs to hire her, because I'm telling you, that script that she sent me, better than anything that I've seen in a couple of companies for sure. And it would take other companies that are doing well and elevate them to another level. So I just had to say that.
I appreciate that. I'm really trying not to tear up on stream because it means so much, because I worked really hard on like that script, and there was I was working on a Hangman script that I had. You know what? Fuck it. I'll spill it out in here. I was working on a Hangman script that I sent to Tony Khan via DMs. I even sent a script over to Matt over on DMs. I'm just trying to look for an opportunity, and not to put myself over on this celebration here, but I totally appreciate all of their support. So not only support me, but also support insiders as well. But I'm just trying to make another dent in the wrestling community, because you guys who are watching may not know, I am a former WWE employee. So just trying to get my way back in there. But Jeff, I appreciate it. I thank you so much for saying that.
Yes, that is awesome. And listen, it's great to, and one of the reasons we wanted to do this is because looking back at the past year, and the people who we've met have been absolutely amazing, and yourself included. The fact that you did work for WWE and that you're looking to do something completely different. And I absolutely love the fact that you're trying to put together a novel which incorporates something that you love. Again, something that I always envisioned of doing at some point someday, but like you said, it's so hard when you're trying to do multiple things, and then of course everybody's out there having to do their daily things too, and all that, and trying to cram it all in. It is really tough, but man, I'll tell you, like I echo what Jeff said. You deserve a shot, and look, we hope that we can say one day, hey, listen, Marie, you're working for blah, blah, blah. How about giving us some love now that you're working?
Of course, man. Of course. Well, if you want, I could give you guys an opportunity for tomorrow night. If you come on to Chase Owens' stream, you can ask Yujiro whatever question you want. I'll drop you guys some subs. I'll do that for you guys.
Okay. All right. Hey,
I'll do that for you, because over on his stream, we had Jay White, which did pretty well, and Jay White answered my question. And eventually, I'm gonna annoy the hell out of him so we could get this internship started. Which that's like more for you guys. I'm dropping like a lot of things. And then we had a Fale one, and then now we're doing Udro. So I try to help the best wrestling community in the world to give back to the wrestlers that give us all this entertainment. So that's what I've been doing too, helping out people.
That's awesome. That's awesome, Marie. Listen, we appreciate you coming on the show. Really, it's always fun talking to you. Stay in touch, please. And thank you so much for being patient. We started late, and there's poor Marie waiting at like 9 o'clock. I'm like, oh. But thanks for being patient. Thanks for waiting. Thanks for coming on the show. Everybody, Marie, tell everybody where they could check you out, please, before you head out.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, I am Marie Shadows. I am the host and the creator of the Square Circle podcast. You can follow me on Twitter at Marie_Shadows. If you want to listen to any of my podcast episodes, head over to anchor.fm/Square Circle podcast.
Said like a true DJ. Very good. Very good. I got to applaud you. Awesome. Marie, thank you so much for coming on. This year had been fantastic. It was a pleasure to talk to you and meet you. And I can't wait to see where you go.
Of course.
So,
thank you so much. I love you guys.
Oh,
anytime you want.
The feeling is mutual, Marie. Stay in touch and hope to see you soon.
Will do, man. Thank you so much. Congratulations again.
Thank you so much, Marie. Take care.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye. All right, guys. I know that I didn't get to welcome in you guys because we just kind of went right at it. But look, the only thing I'm going to say is this. There's 50 of you in there now. There may be more watching. I can't say thank you enough to all of you. You are the ones who make the show what it is. Plain and simple. You're the reason we do it. You're the reason that, you guys, give us a reason to do this stuff. And we love it, and we love all of you, and we would not be here without all of you. So I'm sorry I couldn't welcome everyone in, but we will have, we're going to have some more people. We have some more guests coming on the show. We have C Wrestling, and I see another person who we interviewed very early on in our history as well down there waiting to come on. Who could that be? I'm going to give you a little hint. You can never say no to this man. You can never say no to this man. Let's bring him out here, Jeff.
Let's go ahead. Let's do it, man.
Rusty Shackelford.
Hey. Rusty.
Oh, look at it's Rusty on video. Rusty, man. Welcome to the show, my friend. Rusty has been a friend of the show since we started. And man, it has been so great to have you along for the ride. I want to ask you, man, did you do hyper speed to get here tonight in that car?
In the Rusty Mobile.
I haven't even had a chance to make it to the car yet because I'm still at work right now. But I mean, that's why you get to watch the show anyway. But I never miss an episode. You guys know that.
And he's sporting the shirt. Look at this. Look at this. Oh, man. Look at that. Oh, dude. We can't thank you enough for being as supportive as you have been to all of us, really. I mean, I know we see you in all the chats. And the one thing I have to do, too, is I have to send a shout out, and I know Jeff would echo this, to Wrestling Days, because we did get our start from him. If it weren't for him, we wouldn't have done this because we ran the idea past him, and he was the one who said, yeah, go for it, and if it weren't for him, and the other thing is we wouldn't have met all of you, and that's the bottom line. We all kind of got to know each other in those chats. Whether, that's where we first saw Jodie. That's where we first saw Jesse. That's where we first saw you. That's where I met Jeff, Tazzy, and all of that. We kind of saw and met each other through those chats with Days. So shout out to him. And man, I know there were fun times that we had, Rusty, back in those Days chats.
Yeah, it was fun. It was like I said in my earlier interview that you guys did with me. It was the feeling of the community and being a part of something that was so friendly and something that kind of brought everybody all together. That's kind of what attracted me to this whole thing in the first place. And when you guys approached me telling me that you guys were going to start the podcast, I was all on board with it. I was like your number 3 subscriber. And like I said, I have not missed an episode. I've been here ever since. I've supported you guys. I've told you guys if you need anything from me, I'm here for you. And I've loved it ever since. I love the chat. I love you guys. I love Tazzy, Jodie, you, Joe, Jeff. All of you guys do a great job.
Man, we appreciate it. I can't tell you how much we appreciate you. How are you doing, my friend? How's everything going with you? What are you keeping? I mean, we've asked this of other people, but what are you keeping busy with as far as wrestling goes? There's so much of it, like we said, so much of it out there now. Anything else that may have caught your eye that might have been something new that maybe you've tried or you're watching lately?
I mean, I've kind of been trying to get into MLW a little bit lately because that seems to be kind of off everybody's radar. I've not been the biggest fan of AEW lately, but that match last night, you can't say enough about it. That women's match from a company that doesn't even spotlight their women, I think that taught them a lesson. They need to go with that. Mm-hmm. But other than that, is I'm mainly NXT and WWE, and I'm waiting for the two big moments. And the two big moments for me are going to be when Bray Wyatt comes back and when Karrion Kross gets called up.
Right, Karrion Kross. They were talking about him. Talking about Kross this morning on Busted Open, and I think LaGreca was saying, you just know that Vince cannot wait to get his entrance on a main roster show. You just know that he cannot wait for that to happen because it's going to blow everybody away even more than it does already. And oh man, yeah, dude, like when last night with that whole thing with Kross and Balor, and you can just see what's coming with that. So yeah, that's going to be absolutely amazing, dude. And yeah, it's just cool to hear like all of us. And we talked about too, like now that we have the NWA coming back again too, we used to have so much fun in that little stream as well. Like that was just a run of the mill little thing that Days did. And, not too many people watched it. And then everybody got in there and we, again, all kind of, just for an hour, it was an hour show. And we kind of all went in there and started watching that as well. So it's really a cool thing, man. And you're right. It is a cool little community, Rusty, that we have here. And you have always been a big part of that. Dan T, thank you so much. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate that. Dan T says, happy anniversary, Insiders. Here's to many more years of Insiders. Yes, we would love to keep doing that. And yeah, thank you so much, man. Rusty, so what are you most, well, I think you already kind of alluded to it, but what are you most looking forward to? Obviously, you said the thing about Bray. Is there anything else in wrestling that really, and the thing about Karrion Kross? And I know you join our Impact streams as well. So have you been liking what you're seeing with Impact?
Oh, I love Impact. It's one of my favorite shows of the whole week. I think they have great storylines on Impact. I kind of wish WWE would take a page out of their creative process and get back to kind of more of an attitude era style. And I mean, Black Taurus is one of my favorite new characters on there.
There you go.
The book that he comes out with, and they brought back Decay and made him a part of it. And I love gimmicks like that. That's just awesome to me because it keeps you glued to the screen.
Yes. And damn you, Scott D'Amore, that I can never watch freaking Decay when I'm watching a pay-per-view. So, Scott, you can take that right to the bank, and you just suck for not ever putting Decay on when I can watch that show. Anyway, yeah, there you go. I had to go on my rant.
If I ever get rid of my car, I'm giving it to you so you can make it from work to home a lot quicker.
Rusty and I devised that little scheme. Rusty was taking care of some business for me earlier on Impact, man. That whole thing with Mr. Bravo. I don't know. I'm never gonna.
Talking about there.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Huh? Me either. I just forgot.
Yeah.
No, that was a very fun Halloween stream.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
Just the thing back and forth with you, me and you putting that stuff together, it was a lot of fun, man. It was, and I've got to say this, and I promise I will not make anyone cry, and I will not cry myself. But outside of this stream, outside of all of this stuff, Rusty is such a great dude. He has been such a great friend. and has been there in ways that I can't even begin to explain. And Rusty was there when I was going through a lot, living in South Carolina and needed encouragement. And Rusty was one of the people that was there almost every single day, texting me words of encouragement, saying, "You got this, man. You keep going, keep pushing. You're gonna do what you need to do." And man, I am forever grateful to you for being there for me, and and just being such a huge supporter of what we do and believing in what we do. So just know that that I love you, and I promise you, I will not talk junk about Clemson and Ohio State.
It's all good, man.
I've learned my lesson. But no, on a serious note, man, thank you for everything. And when all this stuff clears out, we've got to all get together and do a big insider party once all this COVID crap goes by the wayside. So.
Speaking of which, Rusty, I'm in your neck of the woods until Monday. So.
Okay. Well, you know how to get in touch with me.
Yep.
And I want you to know, man, I'm always going to be there for you. I call you guys friends for a reason. I don't take that word lightly. I love that I've made friends on this show, and I've made real friends on the show. It's not just, friends that you would talk to on the internet and say what's up to or anything like that. I mean, it's people that I can actually communicate with and talk to. And just know that if any of you guys ever need anything from me, I'll be first in line to do it for you.
Man, that's awesome. And yeah, Rusty was the same with me as well. When I was going through the things with my father before he passed in December, Rusty was given, was in touch with me, and actually was saying that he could have spoke to my dad because he'd been through similar situations. Unfortunately, things took a turn for the worse. My father is in a much better place now, I know. Thank you as well, Rusty, because. And Rusty's a supporter of my other show. Also, Rusty comes and checks out the 80s podcast. Rusty got me. Where the heck did I put it? Of course, it's not where it's supposed to be. But anyway, Rusty sent me a Christmas. He listened to one of our shows where I was talking about this little electronic Simon game that my mom got me a generic of. My mom loved buying generic crap. So instead of getting me the actual Simon, she got me a Sears Simon, which was the worst thing. And so all of a sudden, Rusty's like, "I can't wait for you to get this gift." And I'm like, "What the hell did he send me?" And then I open it. One day I get this package. I open it up, and I'm like, "Oh, my God. He got me the Sears Simon." So there it is in the old Sears box with the old Sears logo. And I'm like, "Oh, my God. He got me a Sears Simon." So then, of course, my wife took it. She said, "I'm going to give this a shot." My wife was playing it. We talked about worst Christmas gifts. So Rusty, man, can't thank you enough for being there, for being an awesome guy, like Jeff said, and for being such a big supporter of the show. Obviously look forward to seeing you in the streams. And of course, like you guys said too, who knows when all this ends, we have a big inside. I don't know, which we have big barbecue somewhere, have a big, big meetup someplace. We'll figure out something. But that would be awesome.
For that.
That would be awesome. And Rusty will transport us all over the place. Don't worry. He'll get to our houses in 2 seconds flat. So there you go. Oh, man. Rusty, thanks so much, man, for taking the time. I know you're still at work. Enjoy whatever it is you pick up on your way home tonight, whether it's the Pizza Hut, whether it's the tacos, whatever it is you're going to pick up. But, man, thanks so much and look what he did, Rusty. Oh, Rusty. Good Lord, dude. You don't got to do that, man. Oh, Rusty says a little something to just congratulate you guys and say thank you for 1 year of an awesome podcast. Also, most of all, thanks for being real friends to me, all of you. But Rusty, thank you as well. Wouldn't be what we are without you and without other folks like you out there as well. Thank you so much for that, but you really didn't have to do that. But thank you very much, man. And we look forward to seeing you in all the streams. And look forward to talking with you down the road, dude. Thanks for stopping in. Really appreciate it, man.
thank you for having me, and congratulations again. And I'm looking forward to many, many more years with hanging with you guys.
All right, sir. Thank you very much, man. Get back to work, and we will talk to you soon, buddy.
All right.
Take care, man. Good night. Oh, man, that was awesome. Rusty Shackelford. So cool to see Rusty. That was awesome.
And we can't tell no.
Now I got to go pay for his pizza.
I know.
On
Nobody
Saturday
told
night.
Rusty what to do.
Right? We gave it away. The hint gave it away. The party keeps rolling, guys. We've got more guests waiting to come in. Jeff, who's coming in next?
We've got a friend from across the pond.
My best friend.
Oh, who can that be?
You know what? I'm a little offended that Jodie just said that, but I'm joking. I'm joking.
Okay, one of my best friends.
I'm joking. I'm joking. But here's the man. Voice from beyond. Can you hear us?
I certainly can.
Hey! I think everybody pretty much knows who it is now. We may have spoiled it. Welcome to C Wrestling. C, man, I've been saying this all night long, and I know I'm getting an old joke. I know it's coming.
There might be.
There might be. I can't believe it's been a year. It's just incredible to me how fast this has gone, and maybe it is because I'm older, and maybe time goes faster when you get older. I don't know, but man, thanks for joining us. C has been a supporter of ours since the beginning of the show, and again, another person who we met via Days of Streams. Man, appreciate you taking some time to join us tonight, and thanks for being there and being a supporter of ours all throughout this crazy thing. And congrats to you, dude. I mean, C is the go-to guy for Bray Wyatt. So pretty awesome stuff, man. Pretty awesome stuff.
It honestly humbles me sometimes. And just to touch on that, it's one of those things that I think people don't appreciate how hard it is to do this whole being a creator thing. And you create the content, you create the videos, you do the live streams, and you guys can agree with this, I'm sure. You get the drama, you get the trolls, you get the hate, but then it's the love that overpowers everything. And literally your chat. I remember being in your streams when you had 4 people watching. Yep. Now you've got 50 people regularly watching your content because they fall in love with you guys. So it's a huge testament to you guys.
Thanks so much, man. And again, I know that we've had sightings of you. Well, not sightings, but we've heard of little appearances and stuff that you've done. I know you and Tazzy get together now on a weekly basis. Made little appearances on Tazzy's show. Man, you've got to be excited for what we are going to get to see. What we talked about earlier with Kyle and the culmination of what is coming with this storyline with Bray Wyatt. And you've got to be excited for Fastlane and obviously for Mania. So what do you think, man? I mean, do you think this is finally it after all this waiting that we've done?
I don't know. I did a video earlier today and it was like, will the Fiend return? And it's like, yes, but at the same time, it's so obvious that will they be pulling the trigger? I don't know. It's so difficult because I think, Jodie's the go-to for your channel about Bray as well. And I'm sure she'll agree that it's literally one of those things. You can never guess what they're going to do.
I don't know anymore.
Yeah, we just don't know. And that's the best thing about it is even though it's absolutely obvious, nearly swore, even though it's absolutely obvious, there's absolutely every chance something happens that says he's coming back, but we don't see him till Raw, the Raw after that, or WrestleMania. There's every chance.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, and yeah, you're right. I mean, keep people guessing, and that's kind of what Kyle alluded to as well. And I think it makes look. I mean, the old and here, go ahead. I mean, I'm going to give you an open segue. Absence makes the heart grow fonder is an old saying. but it's true. And you know, when something is not around, you kind of want it more. And I think, you know, now you're starting to see, and I sent you that I sent it to you earlier today. You're starting to see articles now come out. And the article that I saw earlier today on Bleacher Report talking about like how this could be one of the greatest long-term stories ever done, and especially when it's being done with no fans, and you may never see something like this again. So, you know, like you've said, like Jodie said on her show, like, you know, so many others have talked about, enjoy it, because you may never ever see something like this again in wrestling.
Yeah, I agree, completely agree.
Oh man. Well, look, this is and of course you've got a lot of things going on too. I mean, you've had other, you know, I know you do your, are you still waking your neighbors with the puppet watch?
Oh yeah, it's only 2 a.m. at the moment, so they've got a few hours to go. about 4 a.m. is the usual time to shout that. So
C's neighbors don't like him very much because,
to be fair, no one else in the house.
We waking them all up.
No one else in their house hears it, just him. And
Just him,
I won't
yeah.
name him. But he is like a super light sleeper, and his wife thinks it's hilarious that every time I scream, he's out of bed. She wakes up because of him moving. She doesn't even hear me doing anything. So I find that hilarious.
Could you imagine though, living next door and all of a sudden you hear just out of the blue at all hours of the morning, puppet watch. You're like, you see the guy like stammer out of bed and be like, what the hell is he doing?
I mean, it is a bit early and they probably hated me on a Thursday, but I can give you a special one if you want.
Yeah.
As it is
Go
your-
for it.
Do it.
Yes, please.
Okay, right. Everyone brace yourself. Headphone users, you might want to turn your volume down.
Oh boy.
Jodie's excited. Jodie's excited.
Let's go.
Puppet watch!
There you go.
There you go.
Oh man, that's great. That is
Poor
awesome.
neighbors.
Yeah, the guy just jumped out of his bed.
Sunday.
It reminds
They
me
do it
of.
Sunday as well.
I'm
I'm in for it. Sunday, Monday. Oh,
It reminds me of Christmas Vacation when I think about that. When the neighbors, whenever he'd do something crazy and he'd turn those lights on and the lights would light up, and then the neighbors would be all crazy going. It reminds me of something similar to that. Oh, that's fantastic, dude. That's fantastic. We know that you will be very, very busy come whenever this happens, whether it's Fastlane or whether it's WrestleMania. But and I'll ask you the same question too. You do a lot of videos for different, all different kind of shows. You've done stuff for Impact. You've done stuff for AEW. What kind of has you most interested right now? I mean, of course, other than the Bray Wyatt thing, but what has you most interested in wrestling right now?
do you mean character-wise, or do you mean like
Character-wise, storyline-wise, whichever.
I really do like Decay in Impact. I think bringing in Tarus was a really, really cool thing. Obviously, we all expected Abyss, but I think you get this new monster and you kind of show that Decay could possibly go on forever because you could add in new members and things like that. That's a cool little thing. Obviously, Abaddon over in AEW, even though she's not on TV too often, she does get matches on Dark, which are still just as good. I do currently like the whole big money Matt story as well. I'm really into that. Obviously, huge Matt Hardy fan, so that's kind of biased. Seth Rollins as well. And I think that's the cool thing is wherever you look, there is a character which you can gravitate to if you like that kind of elemental wrestling. So that's always a positive, always.
Yeah, absolutely. And you named some great characters. I mean, obviously, Abaddon's a fascinating character. You really have never seen anything like that. Her entrance that she comes out, that spits the blood coming out of I mean, it's fantastic. Except it's a little freaky for me, I must admit. But so far, she hasn't walked backwards, so we're okay. We're okay.
What are you gonna do if Alexa does that?
Dude, I don't know what I'm honestly, you don't understand. I go to bed every night praying that does not happen. I literally do. I say, I give it one of these and I say a little
she
quick
has
and I'm
long
like,
hair. Is that gonna make it any
don't
different?
let I don't
different because she has
know.
blonde hair?
I don't know.
Dark women with dark hair doing it. So I wonder if is it different for Alexa because she has blonde hair.
My luck is she'll die a coal black the day that she decides to do it. You know what? I took a picture, as I do sometimes when I'm watching Monday Night Raw, and I took a picture of her from this past Monday. Well, it was almost like an omen because the picture appeared on my camera with her having completely white eyes. It's the picture blacked out her eyeballs basically, and she had eyes completely white. So it's the whole possessed thing where no eyeballs. I'm like, oh. So yeah.
When you guys were talking to Kyle earlier, I think Joe might have missed this comment, but I did comment in the chat that we need to set up a GoFundMe so Joe can go and get a tattoo from Kyle. You can vlog it for your channel, so it's the perfect experience. You know, you can make a video from it and everything. And Joe could get a tattoo of a zombie girl doing a spider walk on his back.
I was like, no, no.
But
I'll be honestly scaring myself at that point. So then what the hell do I do? It's like, oh, you don't know, like you guys out in the chat, a lot of you don't know how badly I got tortured after that Halloween episode happened. You guys don't even know. I must have had, and some of you did it too. So you are not innocent either. And some of you in the chat, I must have gotten 50 to 60 DMs of Linda Blair doing the spider walk down the damn stairs.
He's saying that. So you send it again. Everyone now send it again.
See?
You just open yourself up for more of it, Joe.
And then they talk about me getting old. Well, this is taking years off of my life. You just don't understand. Then they're having bets. Well, let's have Joe watch The Exorcist or something like that. I'm like, no, it's not going to happen.
Or The Ring.
It's for charity. Like if we got some, you know, some super chats or something, and we reached a certain amount, why couldn't we do a watch along for like The Ring or The Conjuring or something like that? You know,
I would go with something that, you know, isn't going to hurt Joe too much. Maybe go with something like The Conjuring or Annabelle. I could do Annabelle.
See, honestly, I'll say this. It was so funny because the first time that we went on video, C says, "Hey, I'm going to send you something," and I'm like, "Okay, you know that's cool." And he's asking me about how the screen and everything is set up, and then I get the picture, and I'm like, "Holy crap! See, you're gonna like scare the hell out of Joe." And I was like, "Please don't send that." And of course he sent it to Joe, just because Joe had the stairs behind him, and it was just, it was just easy to do it. So that's why Joe got a green screen for folks that don't know.
That's absolutely why I bought the green. As soon as that happened, I'm like, you know what? Screw this. I'm putting something on the back of my chair so that will never, ever, ever happen again. So yes, that's most certainly why. In fact, the green screen company that bought, you know what? They sent me a survey and asked me why I bought it. Well, that's exactly what I said. I said, because my supposed friends are terrorizing me with women walking down my stairs. So that's why I bought a green screen. And I bet you will never hear that from anyone else that buys her product. So there you go. Yes.
Just to say, just like WWE, Joe, never say never. Anything's possible.
Depends how old your house is.
Our house is clean. I had a poltergeist person come and no, I have no idea. Oh my goodness.
That stream though was probably my favorite one we've done so far.
Oh dear God. Yeah. Dude, so that was so brutal. I didn't and see, like we've been talking about tonight, and that's that's a perfect example of that, where you just don't know what you're gonna get. And I mean, I knew the whole thing with Loomis and stuff like that, and the horror, side of him and everything, and I'm like, okay. And then all of a sudden I see, and I'm like, oh my, it was torture. It was literally like the Torture Joe match. It was.
And the rest of us are just sitting here with tears streaming down our face because we're laughing so
Oh my
hard.
God! It literally was. They tortured like Dexter Loomis tortures Joe match. That's exactly what it was. That's exactly what that was. Oh man, brutal. Absolutely brutal. Oh man. Well, we have listen, I have to say thanks for many things. You obviously, again, a supporter of ours from the start, constantly, giving us some tips and some advice because we knew squat about YouTube when we started and things like that. So can't say enough about how much we appreciate that. And obviously being a friend to the channel and supporting the channel. And obviously being one of the people we turn to for information and things for Jodie's show as well. So man, can't thank you enough. And we'll have to do this more often. And I appreciate you stopping by for sure. And man, best of luck with everything. I know did you hit 40K yet?
It's close. I think it's about 200 off at the moment.
That's awesome. That close. Guys, if you haven't already, some of you are asking who's talking. Well, that is C Wrestling. If you don't know him or have not checked out his channel, please go and do that. If you are a fan of Bray Wyatt, you pretty much have to go check out his channel. Do that now and subscribe to the channel as well because he's very close to 40K. So I know I was there for, what was that already? The 25? Was that the 25K?
Yeah, that was 25 when you came on. That was ages ago. Cry.
Oh wow,
that's crazy, man! You almost up to 50. Look at that! There we go. That's awesome, man. Well, like I said, appreciate you coming on. Again, you can stop by anytime, man. You're always welcome on the show. And yeah, thanks for everything that you have done for us. We can't say how much we appreciate it.
And thank you for having me on. And from everyone in the chat, thank you, because you guys do entertain us every single week with the podcast, with Abby's, with the watch-alongs. It's brilliant. And happy 1 year birthday to the Insiders, even though Joe hasn't heard that for over 400 years. You knew there was one coming.
Yep, you're right. I did. Yep. I said, and you know what? Because it's our 1 year anniversary, I'll allow it. Oh man, fantastic. There you go. Everybody in the chat's dying laughing at my expense. It's all right. Oh man, I love it. Well, see, thank you so much, man. Really appreciate that, and we will talk to you soon.
Catch you all later.
All right. I believe we've got one more person who's been waiting patiently to come on as well. Jeff, we have one more guest, I think, for the night, and then we're going to get into our Fastlane predictions. So let's welcome in our friend, Everything Pro Wrestling, and this is Conrad. Hey. Conrad is here.
What is going on, guys? What is happening?
Not much, man. Thanks for being patient and waiting out in the waiting room there. What is going on with you, my friend? How are you?
I am doing good. New podcast setup. So if you hear a little echo in the room, that's because there's nothing in here yet a little bit. But yeah, we're working on it.
Dude, I kind of wish I had a room like that. Like that would be awesome. Where you get that, that nice noise. You get to do things by yourself, but I make it work. So dude, what have you got going on? First of all, guys, this is Conrad from Everything Pro Wrestling. If you have not checked out his channel, please do so. Conrad is again, we had Conrad on our show. We talked to him a while ago, which you kind of sense the theme. It's people we've had on our shows before. We're kind of revisiting our year, and crazy how it's been a year. And what a crazy year in wrestling this has been. We've seen the start of new companies with AEW. We've seen the resurgence of some others in Impact. We've seen, new people going to different places like Ring of Honor. And now this stuff going on with New Japan and Impact and AEW together. This has been insane, man. I mean, looking back at this year, Conrad, what has been some of the stuff that stuck out for you?
That's a good question. I had to bite my tongue real quick here. I think one of the most important things that stuck out is kind of what brings wrestling fans together. And I think people have grown to appreciate each other more, if that's a fair kind of answer. I was supposed to go to that AEW show in Rochester where Brody Lee was going to debut. Like, I had my ticket. I'm like, I'm finally going to go to AEW next week. It's going to be so cool. And then it got canceled.
Ugh.
So it hit me like a ton of bricks. And then when Brody passed away, I was like, man, that's crazy. Like, the dude who I would have been excited to see, I can't see ever again. And then you think about his family and all the wrestlers, and then you watch that great tribute show they put on. But it made me appreciate the fans too. I think wrestlers took for granted a lot of the fans sometimes. You know, sometimes it's just like, I don't want to sign your autograph. You're annoying me. Oh, I don't want to do that. Now it's gone. You have nothing. You don't have any fans. There's nobody coming up to you asking you for your autograph. So how do you feel now? Now it's kind of like, oh, I really need those people. They help boost me. They give me ideas. They give me something to really get into. And I think that's kind of the most important thing for everybody. Even as a podcaster, I've realized like there's good weeks and there's bad weeks sometimes when you're doing podcasting. Whether it's like, I think it was C Wrestling. Someone brought it up before. Trolls, people just coming after you for stupid stuff. People don't like your opinion. They're ready to attack you, and just silliness. Yeah. The wrestling community, if we're united, is really, really strong. There's a lot of good people out there too. I know sometimes people are like, it's toxic. And I'm just like, dude, we all work together when it comes to this. And if you surround yourself with good people, good things will happen.
Yeah, dude, that's very true. And that's one of the things I will say about Conrad. He joins us for our Impact stream almost on a weekly basis and does a lot of work, with wrestling on his own. And like he said, one of the things that, and I think I said this on Twitter, and I know Jeff, I can speak for Jeff with this as well, but one of the reasons we started this was, like you said, we kind of, we had a small community already of people that we enjoyed kind of hanging with. And then we just went from there, but we did it because of our love of wrestling. And we just wanted to share that with everyone. And, like you said, it could be, you could really succumb to the toxicity of a lot of it if you let it. But you got to kind of look above it sometimes, and it is hard to do. Don't get me wrong. It is hard to do, like you had said, because there is so much of it out there. Twitter, especially. We've talked about that on our show. Twitter can be an absolute mess of just hate-filled stuff that goes on. And people like Conrad and others that we've gotten a chance to talk to over this past year, other shows, I want to shout out the Queen of NE. She was fantastic when we got to talk to her on our show. Of course, Marie that we just got done talking to. Con Man as well. We talked to him. Other creators that we've talked to are just kind of in it for the same reasons that we are. And I know, Conrad, that you are very similar with that as well.
I do my best to try to be. And I love your shows that you guys do. Absolutely. It's just a good time to be in here. And it's nice to see people talking good about Impact Wrestling. I was doing the pay-per-view reviews for them too for quite some time when I had the time to do them. And it's just a blast to talk about just wrestling that some people just enjoy. And I'm like, there's more out there than just the big name companies. And it's just, I don't know, it's just a breath of fresh air sometimes to talk to different people and do different things, especially in the world of wrestling. You want to get locked in a bubble yourself, and then, you get all crazy like some other people in other companies, and they're just like, oh, I only love this company and that's it. That's all I know.
Jeff smiling down there. Conrad, I gotta ask you, because I know you're an AEW fan, and I put this question out to Marie as well. What did you think about that Thunder Rosa match last night with Britt Baker?
Money. That is the best women's match for that company. But I've even went as far to say that was probably one of the best main events that AEW has put on.
Yep.
And there's no title on that. One of the best main events. The girls went in there. They worked hard. They busted themselves they got busted open actually in the matches. It was just absolutely great. And it felt good to see Thunder Rosa. Think about this. That is an NWA talent.
Yep.
Not an AEW talent. And she went over in an AEW ring. If people work together, the amazing things that can happen if you kind of just let your guard down and don't worry about who's going to look good, who's going to win. You're all going to win in the end. It's kind of like some of the stuff I say in the chat sometimes. And I know some people are listening, but I don't know if some people really understand what I'm saying. Impact Wrestling, their viewership has went up tremendously since Kenny Omega. I said Impact Wrestling is winning out of this Forbidden Door relationship right now. They are winning. They have New Japan talent over there. Kenny Omega's on their TV screen. Their viewership is up. People are getting back into Impact Wrestling. That's a good thing. What is Impact getting out of it? Everything that they want. AEW, they're getting talent from places that they need to fill the gaps in their rosters that they don't have. The women's talent, a lot of their talent's overseas. You can get wrestlers from NWA. Serena Deeb shows up. We signed her. Boom, boom, boom. You're making those moves. And I can't wait to see what happens when New Japan can fully get into the fold with this. I think it could be a lot of fun.
Yeah, man, absolutely. It is. I never thought that I'd see. And again, I know I'm older. Everybody makes fun of it all the time, but I never thought I would see in my lifetime where companies would kind of work together. And just seeing what we're seeing with this, and however this ends up. Oh my goodness. It's amazing. It really is amazing. And like I said, now you've got NWA coming back. So they're coming back on Sunday, and then they're going to start Power again. So you've got that happening. You've got the stuff that's going on with Impact. You've got the stuff that's going on in AEW. Man, I'm telling you what. And that's what I said. If you can't find something to like and be happy about, man, then I think you're watching the wrong thing. I think you better go to something else and just get away from wrestling, because I don't think there's anything that's going to satisfy you at that point. Because
I know Conrad is shaking his head right now, and it's because of a question that's in chat and on screen.
Wait, Jeff, can I answer it fairly?
Yeah.
Let me answer it for sweet Sapphire. Let me answer that for you, baby, if you will. Sapphire, honestly, I love Mustafa Ali. I think Mustafa Ali is a good person. I don't know why this dude's a heel. Number one, he was a police officer. Number two, this dude made his entrance gear from his last gimmick for any kid that used to ask for the cool lights that were on his hands and stuff and the masks. This dude is not a heel. I don't understand what they're doing. I mean, I guess you could make him a sympathetic babyface, but Retribution as a whole is just...
I agree. Totally agree. And again, now you're starting to kind of see things come out. There was an interview that they just posted with Mustafa Ali talking about some of this stuff and saying how he never knew that he was going to get put in with this group. He thought he was going to be a heel, and he said he was kind of trying to lead to that. And then when they talked to him about it, he's like, I never knew. So yeah, I don't know. You just kind of wonder. And I know that eventually what's going to happen is we're going to get that snap of the finger, and they're magically going to hope that everybody just forgets about the story, and that Mustafa will eventually go his own way, and so will all those other athletes that look, they're good wrestlers. Those guys proved themselves. I mean, Dijakovic was awesome in NXT. We saw him wrestle Keith Lee in a match, and dude, they tore it up. Mia Yim is amazing. I mean, these guys are good, so they've got to get out from under this. And you can be a fan of anything if you like it. Sapphire, awesome. That's fantastic. But yeah, I agree with you, Conrad. I just don't see a future for it. There's just nothing going on with that makes any sense. And at this point, like you said, let Mustafa Ali just get away from it and just get out from under it, and give him gold. Give him some gold, for God. Put a title on that man.
Please. Please.
Man. Man, oh man. Who excited you the most about what you saw on the pay-per-view for AEW? So we got Ethan Page. Ethan Page, I love the guy. I think he's got a really bright future. I know Jeff enjoys his work as well. It seems like he's got a good mind for, creating himself, so to speak. And then of course we had Christian show up. What kind of excited you the most about that pay-per-view, about what you saw for going forward with AEW?
I actually had this kind of as one of their lower pay-per-views.
Okay.
Out of totality, when I looked at the reviews for them, I do like letter grades and stuff for the reviews. So I'm sure wrestlers hate me because they're like, "Oh, you gave me a B." But, I don't know. I was impressed. I liked the debuts. Tony Khan did an absolute wrestling thing by hyping it up. I felt bad for Ethan Page, though, looking at what he's done so far in AEW. He was hyped up to be a 6-man in the ladder match, and then Tony Khan's like, but we've got a bigger surprise over here. So it's like, womp, womp, womp. Okay, cool. He doesn't win the match, whatever. He goes out the next Dynamite show, and then they have the NBA stuff play over.
Oh, that was awful.
The dude.
That was awful.
I feel like Tony Khan owes him something. Like, you owe me a big break. Whatever it is, you got to force me into something to help me out here.
Yeah, man, that was awful. Yeah, you're right. I felt bad for him too when I watched that. And I mean, imagine, you guys in the chat, imagine you're a wrestler. You just got to this new company, this much, much bigger company that you had your sights on your whole career. You get out there and you're going to do your very first match for that company. You have all of your family and friends probably getting ready to watch. And then boom, out goes the audio. And they're like, that had to have been devastating. I know that he has a good enough head on his shoulders to make that work for him. He's kind of playing an angle of where they don't respect him anyway. So maybe he comes up with something like that and saying, oh, yeah, you throw the audio over my match so nobody can hear it anyway. But, yeah, dude, I
will give it to them for that. They are the best spin doctors right now. If something goes wrong, we'll fix it. Here we go.
Oh, man.
They're spinning more than DJ Jazzy Jeff right now.
Oh my goodness, man! What has you the most excited about wrestling going forward?
And listen, I went off on a tangent on your last question. Christian is what I'm most excited for because of what he can do for the roster. Yep. I think he can offer a lot backstage wise for people. I think in ring, he's going to say, like, watch me. I'm going to show you how it's done. Just watch. Yep. As far as what's got me excited in pro wrestling, that's so tough, man, because I love everything pro wrestling. Yes. So the thing that I'm most interested in is kind of like the collaborations amongst companies. I think that's really like once everybody's back and there's people in the buildings, whether it's New York City, Boston, Canada, Texas, Europe, it doesn't matter wherever you are in the world. I want to see how the fans are going to react when maybe Okada shows up to Impact Wrestling and he's going to take on Moose. Like, that would be a great matchup, I think, if you did something like that. Imagine if Naito shows up and he says, you know what? I'm going to go over to the NWA and I'm going to challenge Nick Aldis for the NWA championship. I think you could do some really, really cool stuff as long as people are willing to lose and people are willing just to work with each other, just to have fun for a night.
Yeah, that would be awesome, man. That would be really cool. Interested to see what NWA's got in store. I love Power. Jeff and I really enjoyed Power. It was an absolute throwback show. So I'm interested to see. Like you said, I mean, Thunder Rosa obviously wrestling Camille there, which should be a tremendous match. That's something we've been waiting for a year now, since they had that big promo of Camille. So, man, yeah, you're absolutely right. It's a really cool time to be a fan because you're seeing things that you just don't normally see. And again, just keeps you guessing all the time. And it's really a great time to be a part of it. So, man, listen, thank you for coming on tonight. Thank you for always being in our Impact streams. Really appreciate that. Of course, throw your social medias out there, my friend, and let everybody know where they can check you out.
Oh, man, I wasn't even prepared for this. You guys can follow me on Twitter at EPW Show. I have a Facebook group that you guys can go to. If you type in Everything Pro Wrestling Group, you can come in there and talk pro wrestling. It's a private group. You don't have to worry about everybody and your friends seeing what you're talking about in there. You can come speak freely. Just talk some pro wrestling. I know it gets rowdy in there, but have some fun. We have the official page, Facebook page, Everything Pro Wrestling. Leave it a like. YouTube, you guys just type in Everything Pro Wrestling. You can find the channel. Check it out. Right now I'm doing AEW streams. I plan on trying to incorporate another one on Tuesdays. I'm working on it. We'll see what happens with that. But tonight is really not about me. So I don't care about any of that. I actually came here to support you guys because I absolutely love what you guys do, whether it's Abby's Window, whether it's just Joe and Jeff and Tazzy talking Impact in the stream, talking different pay-per-views, whatever it may be. We get on tangents about horror shows in the chat. We get on tangents about great movies, current culture, pop culture, whatever it is. I love it. The chat is great. That's what keeps me coming back every single week and listening to you guys give your insight on Impact Wrestling, whatever it may be. So I'm going to raise the cup to you guys, even though I've been drinking out of it for a little bit here, but we're going to raise the cup, give a little bit of a toast. I love you guys as friends. Jeff knows we talk a lot in the DMs. Joe, you are tremendous. Tazzy, I don't talk to you as much, brother, but you're great. Jodie, I know we follow each other on Twitter, but hopefully we get to interact more eventually. I love you guys. So whatever you guys do, I wish you the best and keep up the good work.
Thanks so much, man. And we had talked about this a little bit on Impact, and we are definitely going to have to get together. We talked about that. That will definitely happen, guys. We will get together with Conrad at some point and just do a collaboration. Those are a lot of fun. And yeah, we got it. Go ahead, Jeff.
No, I was just saying, Super Show. I mean,
yeah.
We put it out in the universe. We got to do it. We got to do it. So, Conrad, I will be hitting you up soon so we can make that happen. But man, you and I talk a lot, so you know how I feel. You know I appreciate you and all of your support and all that, man. So yeah.
Yep, absolutely, man. Again, yeah, and I want to thank you as well. You are genuinely one of the good ones in wrestling, and it's always great to have you aboard. Great to see you out there in the chat with everyone else there, and just it's an honor to have become friends, and can't wait to see what you've got in store, and would love to be, like Jeff said, love to get together with all of us sometime. So thank you so much, man, for coming on the show tonight, and for all the well wishes and everything that you do for us, man. Thanks. Really, really appreciate you coming.
And everybody, make sure you just stay in here because I can't wait to hear the predictions for that Randy Orton Alexa Bliss match.
We got to get to that, right? Yeah. We got to get to that. It's getting late. I guess we better get going on it. Thanks again, Conrad. We're going to get to that right now, actually. So thank you for the reminder.
Take care, guys.
Take care, man. Thanks so much for coming. Oh, all right. Well, the chat is actually reminding us, and yes, we have predictions to do after all this. That was fantastic. And let me just say thank you to everyone who came on, all of our guests that came on tonight. Some others wished us well on the internet. Some of you guys in chat sent us some little clips. I know we got some stuff from Big Dan. Gus sent us something. Jessie said she really wanted to, but had some stuff going on at work. For everyone else who had sent us things about the anniversary and stuff like that, really, really appreciate you guys for doing that. And just so you know that we have seen those and really appreciate that you took the time to do that for us. So so let's get into the predictions because it's getting late, and let's go through what we've got. I don't think it's a very big card. In fact, we lost a match. How do you lose a match? But we lost a match. Obviously, there is no Shane McMahon Braun Strowman match. Gone.
What?
Poof, just
what match?
What?
Right? Yeah. Well, you know how Vince likes to make us forget things and wave his little magical wand. And Vince was in his office just saying, "I don't want that Braun Strowman and Shane McMahon match. Get rid of that. Don't tell them why. Just get rid of it." And that's what happened. So there is no Shane Braun match. We don't really know why. Whether it was, I don't know, maybe Braun didn't like being painted green. Maybe the paint didn't come off. I really don't know. But that is gonzo. Whether or not it's going to happen at Mania, we'll see. But all right, let's get to our predictions for Fastlane because, yes, we have Fastlane coming up. That will be our next show, which will be this coming Sunday at probably 6:45, I'm guessing, because the pre-show usually starts at 7. So Jodie and Jeff and Tazzy will be there at the start, like always, and I will join in as soon as I get back home. So don't forget to join us for Fastlane on Sunday. So, Jeff, what are we going to start with match-wise for the show? And we will call our predictions out.
All right, man. First one.
The tag team championship between, obviously, we have Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler, and this should be a pretty interesting match, if anything. Do they walk away with the gold? Shout out your predictions in the chat and let us know. Are they going to go in with 2 belts? Is Sasha Banks going to be Sasha 2 belts before this all ends? I don't know. Let's get some picks. So, Tazzy, what do you think for the women's tag matchup here?
I like our way on first with the women match.
Well, you know, Tazzy, it's the old saying, if the shoe fits, if the shoe fits, Tazzy.
No. But, all right. So, first of all, Dirt Sheets kissed my ass about this build. I like this. I like this build. Because they're tripping about, so why you put up the tag? Oh, please be quiet.
You almost pulled off an Andrew Dice Clay impersonation there. I like that. That was very good.
Now, do I think they're going to win the titles? No. I have a feeling the way Sasha's. I like body language when they're they're talking and everything. The body language of Sasha Banks is really getting heelish. I think we are getting a heel Sasha Banks, and I am all for it. And like Stone Cold says, Stone Cold loves Sasha Banks as a heel. I love Sasha Banks as a heel.
I love Sasha Banks as a face or a heel. It doesn't really matter.
Right. But still, I really, really, really like her as a heel because, especially at this point right now, because she can do whatever she wants as a heel now. So, but yeah, I have a feeling Sasha's going to turn on Bianca because part because of the resurrection, the whole directional thing also is in this thing too. But yeah, so we're gonna get some kind of shenanigans. I think that I'm thinking Sasha gets pinned. I don't think Bianca gets pinned because that'd probably be a bad idea to get Bianca pinned. But yeah, so we are getting still. You see how I threw that over. We still have the same tag team champions at the end of the night.
Yeah. I mean, Sasha's character, even in The Mandalorian, was kind of a tweener character. If you watch that show, she, the character she played, and I don't know. I think you're right, Tazzy, in the fact that I think she just is way more natural playing a heel. And there are a lot of athletes that are out there that are, and you could just see that. Seth Rollins, I think, is another one that comes to mind. But yeah, I think it may be time for Sasha to take that on. Circle Squared podcast in the chat says, "Isn't she a heel already?" I mean, you might have seen some signs of it, and of course, I think if you're going to have that happen, it's going to be in this match. And again, like Tazzy said, maybe they cost each other the match because they're doing infighting and stuff like that. We'll see. But yeah, I mean, obviously they're positioning Bianca as the face in that match. So you may see in the next 3 weeks that Sasha just completely does a full heel turn. And yes, you have the Reginald factor. We had a Reginald fashion show with Nia Jax. Nothing I ever thought I'd see, but okay. Yeah, so you always have the Reginald factor there. Jodie, what do you think of this one? Who do you think is going to win?
I'm going to go with Tazzy on this one. I think we're going to get some of our favorite word shenanigans. And I'm going to keep it on Nia and Shayna.
Okay, fair enough. What about you, Jeff?
Shenanigans between Bianca and Sasha.
Yes. What about you, Jeff?
There are a lot of jokes I could make right now about Nia and her hole and all of that stuff, but I'll refrain. I'll stay away from that because it's all good. Listen, this is going to be a perfect setup for Sasha and Bianca to really go at it at WrestleMania. Up until this point, we've seen glimpses of things, like Tazzy alluded to, but I think this is going to be the breakdown to end it all. They're not going to be friendly going into WrestleMania, so I've got Nia and I'll leave that part out. Nia and Shayna retaining. With some shenanigans. But yeah, that's what I've got because listen, you've got to create a little bit of drama and a little bit of tension between these two because right now, it's a little too split. It's a little too in the middle. You got to have somebody that's going to be. You got to have that heel, and for this thing to really pop off for Bianca, Sasha has to go into that heel bag like she's so good at. That's what I think.
All right. Yeah, absolutely. Moda says Sasha is as good as a heel or face, but she might be a tad better as a heel. Yeah, I agree. All right. Well, I'm going to agree with you guys. I think the champs hold on to the belts. And I think I'm looking at Fastlane with the exception of one match, which I think we may talk about later. With the exception of that, I think Fastlane is a bridge pay-per-view. What I mean by that is it's a bridge to Mania. I don't think you're going to see any crazy results here. And I think that they're just going to use this as remember, this wasn't on the schedule. This pay-per-view wasn't scheduled initially. So they put it in, and I think it's going to be used as pretty much just a bridge to the next matches and to kind of keep furthering storylines. So it would make sense to do that by having Sasha and Bianca get into some kind of battle here at some point, and Sasha kind of turn to that heel side, which we know that she can do extremely well. So yes, I'm taking Shayna and Nia to win this. Don't be surprised if Reginald kind of gets in there in some way, shape, or form, and maybe that ends up costing them the win ultimately as well. So, but yes, I think we're all in agreement, and I think we're all going with the champs to win this one. All right, what do we got next?
All right.
Oh, a match right there.
This has been brutal.
Yeah.
Brutal. With a capital B. This, I don't know how much more you can get between these two to have this be any more, violent than this has been. And now this
significant amount of blood.
Yeah. This should cap this, I would imagine, that they're probably going to stop this storyline after this. So this may be the last part of this we're going to see. But oh my goodness, this one, I'm going to take Drew and mainly just because of the fact that this could be the last battle these two have. I don't know what can happen. A lot of people are still thinking about Brock Lesnar. They're still mentioning his name with something with Drew, because you've got the Drew and Lashley thing that is already announced and happening. So you know where that's going. But if Brock's going to make, I don't know though, if they bring him out at a pay-per-view like Fastlane though. So I don't know. But I'm going to go with Drew here to win it. Again, this is going to be positively brutal. They've proven that. They've been doing that week after week. And I don't think that this is going to be any different. Jeff, what do you think with this one?
James Grant actually stole my prediction there. So,
mine too.
James, it's like we're on the same wavelength. I think in terms of Fastlane, we've got to look at this thing a little bit different than we would normal years. There's a reason why they brought it back this year, and there's a reason why it's simulcasting on the network and on Peacock.
Yep.
They want to drive up views for WrestleMania. So how do you do that? You do some crazy, outlandish stuff on Fastlane because no one is expecting it. Most people are like, yeah, but it's Fastlane. It's just, this going into Mania, which most of the time is correct, and I don't think we'll get anything super crazy, but I think we're going to get moments that really make WrestleMania must watch. And I think, the build already between Lashley and Drew, only the one time that we've seen it, Monday, was great. How do you ramp that up a little bit? You have Bobby Lashley cost Drew the match. And have him looking like he's down, just kind of down on his luck going into Mania to really elevate this matchup. That's what I think. Maybe Brock shows up. I know a lot of people are calling for triple threat matches at Mania. I don't think every single title match is going to be that way. But that's just my opinion. I think that we're going to get these two beat the crap out of each other. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, absolutely.
Crap out of each other. But
absolutely.
I think Lashley comes down and cost him.
Okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Jennifer Carter, hi Jennifer Carter from Facebook. How are you? Azan White says Brock shows up at Monday before Mania. That's possible. Jesse's here as well. Jesse says congratulations, guys. Thank you, Jesse. That is Jeff's co-host from his horror podcast. So hello to you, Jesse. Welcome. And thanks for the congratulations. Thank you all. And again, I know a lot of you have been saying that throughout the course of the night. We've had so many great guests on that we haven't seen the chat as much. But thank you all for wishing us congratulations as well all through the night that you've been doing that, and your comments in the chat also. So Jodie, who do you think is winning? And is somebody coming out of this alive?
I think we may see blood drawn this time. More blood than what we have been seeing. I think this is going to be a grueler of a match, a hell of a match. I think this has the possibility to steal the show in terms of just being one of those matches that you're just like, oh man, I'm exhausted watching it. I can't imagine how exhausted they are actually having to do it. So, but I actually think they're going to do something a little crazy, and I think they're going to have Sheamus win.
Oh, okay. A little bit of a twist. Well, I mean, yeah, that could go kind of hand in hand with what Jeff is saying. Of course, with Bobby Lashley costing Drew the match. So, yeah. And I mean, look, it would make a lot of sense, too, because if this is the end of this feud, they could kind of push Sheamus off in a proper direction with having him win moving forward. So, yeah, okay, I'm down. Tazzy, what do you think?
Well, first, I'm gonna give you why I think this, but Sheamus is going to win. There's two scenarios I can see here. One, you're going to get Bobby Lashley coming in and interfere with the match, and they might turn it into a triple threat match at Mania. Or you could do the big, huge way, since it's on the Fastlane, and since it's on Peacock, and you want more views anyway. You get Brock involved in this. Might be where we have a screwy finish where Sheamus wins. It's like, hey, I deserve a title shot too, and we get a fatal 4-way at WrestleMania. That's a possibility too. We can get Brock versus Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus. Insane. But yes, no matter what, Sheamus is going to come out here as the winner.
All right, well, there you go. Moda, you don't need to be quiet. Nobody needs to be quiet in our chat, dude. You don't need to be quiet. Say whatever you like, dude, especially tonight. It's crazy. It's a party. Dave in real life. Hello, Dave. Hello, Joe, Jeff, and Jodie. What's up, guys? And, of course, happy first birthday. Thank you very much. Really, really appreciate that. Yes, we are one. Oh, my God. All right, what have we got next, Jeff? Ooh. This one interests me. It really does. And look, I really love what they've done with Apollo. I really do. There's a guy who was kind of trying to find his footing in the last several months. He had gold for a little bit, and we kind of thought he was kind of on a fast track to kind of move up, and then kind of went back down again. So, but this direction that they have him now, embracing his roots and kind of changing. And man, has he taken on a whole new persona here? This one could be a barn burner as well. I mean, do we see a change here? Oh boy, I don't know. It's going to depend, I guess, how they want to go forward with Big E. And where they want to have him is, I mean, some people are saying that maybe he's next up at the shot at Roman Reigns. So maybe after the stuff happens at Mania, could Big E be next in line? And if he is, maybe there's a title change here. This is a tough call. Jodie, what do you think here with Big E and Apollo?
I don't know. I like them both. I think, again, this has the capacity to steal the night as well. I think this is also going to be a hell of a match. But I'm going to go with my gut, and my gut says that Big E's going to retain. They've got something bigger planned for him for Mania.
Yeah, okay. All right. Going with Big E. Tazzy, what are you thinking?
Third sheet. You remember what I said earlier? Same thing about this one too.
Control C, Control V is what Tazzy's saying.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, I love this. I love this matchup. I really love this matchup. I love the heel work. When people don't like the heel work, I'm just not going to say no names, but none of them don't like the heel. I love the heel. He's telling the truth. He's telling the truth where he came from. It is true. If you guys go to Wikipedia, he's from I honestly think this is not going to be the last time they face each other. I think they're going to face each other at WrestleMania. This is going to be a regular match, but I think the match at WrestleMania is going to be like one of those, a stipulation match, kind of like. But Big E will win this one. But yeah, this is going to be a mess. It's going to be a fun match. I can't wait for this one, especially as Apollo as a heel now. It's going to be great.
All right, man. Jeff, what do you think?
Okay, so I'm really torn on this because, man, Apollo's new character. I love it. Mm-hmm. I really love it. But at the same time, I really don't want Big E to drop the belt just yet, unless they have a plan for him after Mania to go after whoever comes out of Mania with the Universal title. That's the only way I want this to happen. Big E deserves a title shot. Yeah, oh my God. I need Big E to be the one that kind of dethrones whoever the next champion is. But I think Big E retains. But again, this whole thing with Apollo, I'm really feeling this new character. So but yeah, that's what I'm just really excited to see this. I think this match, from a storytelling perspective, will be much better than people are giving it credit for on the front end. Like, this is one of those matches that people are like, oh, okay, it's Big E and Apollo. No, look at the layers to this match. When this is all said and done, look at all the layers that went into this and look what comes out of it. And I feel like this is going to be one of those matches that people are like, man, this was good. So that's just my opinion.
Fair enough. Yeah. Okay. I am going to agree with those of you who are saying Big E retains. I do think he will retain. I think this is going to be a very good match, and like Jodie had mentioned too. And I want to see more of this, and I think they'll go further with this. This could end up being a Mania match. We may see a repeat. Kip Clips says happy anniversary. Thank you so much. Really, really appreciate that. Excuse me. Yeah, thank you for that. But yeah, I'm going to go with Big E here, and I can't wait to see this match. Actually, I'm excited to see what Apollo brings, and I really love the direction his character's going. He's taking very well to this character, and I think this could be what elevates him to even higher levels, and that's exciting to me because I know, he's one of those guys that you kind of want to root for, and I think that sky's the limit for him, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what he can do. All right, what do we got next?
All righty. You'll notice that we haven't gone over one thing just yet because I'm saving that until the end.
Of course. Of course we are.
Roman and DB.
Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan. Wow. Remember, guys, we talked about on Impact and we talked about on other shows, the unbeatable heel against the underdog good guy. Where have I heard that before? And man, that kind of stuff sells, doesn't it? This is interesting. It really is. Now, I'm kind of going to go with, look, deep down, I don't think they're taking that belt off of Roman. Not yet, not here. What I think happens here, and we're going to see, of course, come tomorrow night, but, you're going to have Edge involved in this as well. And I think what's going to happen here is I think he gets into it with Daniel, something costs Daniel the match here. And I don't know, maybe Daniel reciprocates come WrestleMania when it's Edge and Roman. We'll see, and we'll see what maybe that leads to. But I don't think Roman's dropping that title. I think something's going to happen, with our favorite word, whether it's going to be shenanigans wise, but I think something's going to happen that's going to get volatile with Edge and with Daniel. And we'll see what that leads to. And again, people talking about triple threats. Does it lead to a Mania triple threat? Maybe. But I'm going to say Roman wins. Conrad's agreeing, saying Reigns wins as well. But yes, I do think Roman holds on to that title. He's going to go into Mania against Edge, and that title will be up on the line. So, Jeff, what do you think is going to happen here?
I think Roman will retain here. But, man, I think we're going to get a lot of stuff that just builds towards Mania. I go back and forth on whether I'd like to see a triple threat at Mania with Roman, Daniel Bryan, and Edge. I go back and forth with that because there's a part of me that really wants to see, just Edge and Roman straight up, just to see what happens. But how many more opportunities, how many more times will we see Daniel Bryan in this picture going forward? And I mean, Daniel Bryan is one of the greatest in terms of in-ring work and what he does as a performer. He's one of the best. So I go back and forth. I think Roman's gonna retain, but I think that they'll do the triple threat thing at Mania. That's my prediction. I think that's what'll happen, but I'm kind of on the fence about that part. But for this match, I've got Roman.
All right, fair enough. There you go, Jodie. What do you think?
Oh, no doubt that Roman retains the belt, but Daniel Bryan is a hell of a performer. Roman is a hell of a performer. They can both have a lot of athleticism and hits towards each other. They're both very good at that and wearing each other down. So I think it could be a pretty lengthy match because they're both very good at those. Again, it's another one that I think it has the potential to be a grueler, but I definitely think that Roman comes out victorious, possibly get some shenanigans with Edge. But we'll see.
All right.
Tazzy,
Tazzy, what are you thinking?
This got my brain like fire. Like, so it's when you get the smoke in your brain, you see like on the cartoons and you see fire coming out. Yeah, that's what I'm getting right now. Because you can book this so many ways, it's ridiculous. Like, regardless, Roman's going on top, no doubt. I do say this: we got to remember about the enforcer thing tomorrow too. So we got to think about that and who's going to be the enforcer. And there's another small little detail too. There's a certain other Uso that's actually clear for wrestling now. So that's a possibility now. So I'm like, we might get a disqualification. We might get a triple threat match. I don't want to be a triple threat match. I want Edge versus Roman Reigns, but you know, Daniel deserves it. I mean, I'll be honest with you. Daniel deserves to be in WrestleMania. So if we can get Edge, Daniel Bryan, and Roman Reigns in the same match, I'm all for it. Just eventually in the future, maybe Money in the Bank. Can we get Roman Reigns and Edge on a pay-per-view just to see it just one time by itself? I'm all for that. So yeah, I'm down for a triple threat match though. But yeah, it's Roman Reigns gonna win from some kind of screwy finish. That's all I'm gonna say. It's gonna be some kind of screwy finish. That's
J-Hub says all this talk about shenanigans. I'm going to have to watch the movie Waiting with Ryan Reynolds. What a great movie. Yes. Yes. We love the word. If we could describe our podcast with one word, it's shenanigans. Yes. So there you go. All right. Well, I wonder what we have left to go. It's kind of funny how we started the show with something and it looks like we're going to pretty much end it with the same topic. Odd how that works, isn't it? Yes, we have finally got this match. We were, many people have talked about it. See Wrestling mentioned it on his channel. We talked about it on Abby's window. I mean, this is something the dirt sheets actually may have gotten right. They mentioned this a few months ago, saying that there was going to be an intergender match between Alexa Bliss and Randy Orton at Fastlane. And that's what we are getting. Now, what is this going to be? No one really knows. People are saying it's going to be like a longer promo. It will never really develop into a match. And this is all just part of the whole story of them bringing Bray back. And whatever is going to happen, whether that's Randy sets up Alexa for a punt kick. And before that takes place, boom, something happens where she gets maybe a hold of that box and plays the rest of the song. And that's when it all goes down. So, all right, well, we got to go to Jodie last. Obviously, I know she's nipping at the bud to talk about it, but we will go to Jodie last. Let's start with Tazzy. Tazzy, I guess the big question is this it? Is Bray going to come back on Sunday?
Oh God, I hate to say this, but no. But God, I don't want. I've been waiting so long. I've been watching Bray Wyatt matches for the last 2 months because I'm like, dude, I don't know, I forgot how he looked. And I'm getting withdrawals basically of Bray Wyatt. Whatever. But anyway, no, but there is going to be some kind of element that Bray does that you're going to see in that match where you're like, oh, he is coming. Look out. And by the way, you guys realize we only got 3 more weeks before Mania, right? So patience. Patience. So like I said, we will get Bray, but not Bray. We're going to get a shadow. We're going to get some kind of fire in the ring that's look like him. And that look weird. That sounds weird. Yeah. So basically, you can do this. You can really do this. You can have his figure, but as fire. That'd be insane. Yeah, I can see some kind of weird element with Bray, some kind of way, but you won't get the full product until WrestleMania. I don't want it to happen, but it is. It is what it is.
Okay. All right. Well, fair enough. There you go. 1 vote for nay. Jeff, what do you think is going to happen? Of course, as the co-host of Abby's on Monday, you guys have been talking about this. I've been listening to the show. Are we seeing the man come Sunday?
I'm just going to go through this real quick because I just want to hear what Jodie has to say about this. So,
yep.
What I have to say about it is I don't think we see Bray. I think we see possibly cult leader Bray for just leading up to Mania. But I don't think we get the glimpse of what we're going to see at Mania on Sunday. I think we'll get something. I think we're going to get a ton of Easter eggs. So if you're a Bray fan, I think you're going to be on Puppet Watch. I think you're going to be on a lot of other watches during this match. But, just pay very close attention to the interactions. And I'll leave it at that. So, because I just, like everyone in the chat, I want to hear what Jodie has to say.
All right. And yeah, I'm going to get to that as well. So I am going to say that something will happen that will put Alexa in danger. We saw months back when he put her in the line of fire, who showed up to carry her away from Randy Orton. The Fiend did. So I don't think that he wants that to happen. I think something's going to put her in danger at some point, whether or not it's that Brandi was talking about, I'm going to kick her out of my life. That alludes to a punt kick, whether something happens where he catches her, she's down somehow, and he lines up for that. I think that's when you hear the box. I mean, how cool would it be if the box just somehow got in the middle of the ring? She disappears, the box plays, opens up, boom. You don't see him. And I don't think we'll see him either fully until Mania because they've waited this long. Why spoil it now? Jeff and Jodie talked about that big thing they talked about last year at Raymond James Stadium where he was supposed to get a monster truck. He was looking for people to give him a monster truck. Maybe we get that. I don't know, but I don't think they'll show him yet. But I do think he is going to have his presence felt, and you will know that he's back. But go ahead, Jodie. That's what I'm thinking.
Where my popcorn?
Get your popcorn ready.
I'm a big believer that we're not going to see, as what Kyle stated earlier, the evolution of this character until WrestleMania. I'm going to stick with that, but I will officially put my foot in my mouth because I've been saying for weeks that I really just don't think that they would do this match because they don't do intergender matches very often. And they proved me wrong. So I'm excited about it. Obviously, we have seen Alexa take an RKO from Randy before. So I definitely think they can do some physical things. It doesn't have to be super cinematic or anything like that. There's definitely move sets and things that they can do. I think there's definitely going to be some fire involved, maybe some explosions involved. I do have this feeling that we will see something related to Bray or this evolved character, but not in a way that we're going to see what he's going to look like. We might see a shadow. We might get a laugh. We might get cult leader Bray. We might get Funhouse Bray. We may get Bray come back. We may just get something on screen, but I think we're going to get something a little bit more substantial than what we have been getting. Not that what we have been getting isn't great, because it is great, but I think this is going to be the opportunity. They're going to give us something a little bit meatier hold on to. I'm still not totally sure it's going to be an actual match. I'm more leaning towards it's going to just be a lot of shenanigans.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's going to be an extended promo as well. I don't think it'll be a match either. And I was thinking they might save this for the end of the show, but I don't know. It depends on how they're going to go about it and whether or not how long it's actually going to actually take to do what they want to do. But Conrad was saying, I think this leads into Funhouse too. Very possible. And that was another thing that had been rumored on the dirt sheets before the Fastlane thing, saying that they were coming up with another Funhouse match. So, and that one could be insane, because if that takes place at Mania in front of fans, you got to believe that there may be some cinematic and then there may be some match to it as well.
I think that would be a good one to have on both nights.
Yeah.
I think night one, maybe you have all the cinematic elements and it continues into the ring into night two.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be really cool. Butterspark says, and we end up with Bo Dallas.
Well, I mean, you have to remember the things that Alexa has said. Not yet. That, when he comes back, it's going to be not like nothing you've ever seen before. And he's going to come face to face with everything that he's done in the past. So all of that would lead you to believe that there's some kind of cinematic match happening at WrestleMania. But in order to, I think, me personally, to adequately build that up, you got to put Bray back in there somehow.
Yeah.
Somehow, some way, you've got to put Bray back in it because we're dying here.
Funhouse Bray, maybe. Funhouse
Bray, cult leader Bray.
What
I don't
was
care at this point.
Let's go back to the beginning.
They're just itching for a piece of.
Let's go back to the beginning of the show. And what was the last word that Kyle said before he left the show? I thought it was really interesting. So yeah, those of you who were with us since the beginning of this show, if not, you're going to have to go back and watch it. But yeah, I don't think it's going to be long. We've got, we don't have long to wait now. It's going to be Mania for sure. And segue, we will be having another first WrestleMania watch along. We've never done one. This will be our very first one. And man, what a couple nights this should be. Make sure you're with us the entire week for that week. That's all I can say, because we're going to do the final Raw. Because obviously, if something is brewing in that storyline, we are not going to want to miss that, because that will lead into Mania. So we will be doing the final Raw. We will be doing the Hall of Fame, which today, I'm back. Mr. Bischoff is being inducted into, and I mean, look, how cool is that when he's going to get inducted with the NWO as well? And I'd love to see him come out with them. That would be amazing. So we're going to do that, because how often do we get to talk about classic wrestlers? And we will be able to do that. So we'll be doing that Wednesday. My God, what is Wednesday?
Takeover.
Oh, jeez. We have Takeover for 2 nights. We have Wednesday and Thursday with Tazzy with Takeover for 2 nights, and then SmackDown on Friday, which that will be the day we're going to do our Mania predictions, and then we have WrestleMania for 2 days. So don't miss any of that week. And by the way, for those of you who watch Impact, Tommy Dreamer did confirm on the Busted Open show that he is writing for a show that is running opposite of Mania. Those were his exact words. So he was called crazy by more than one person who called in. So I don't know. We'll have to watch for that. But that's kind of insane. That's pretty much insanity. So all right, guys. We're going to get to Jesse. Jesse's going to join us now. We're going to end the show in the way we always end our show every week. If you are here to watch our podcast, we are here. We are going to end it with some funny stuff from Jesse Callan. Conrad says, Insiders, I love the crew and the chat. Happy 1-year anniversary. Thank you for having me on. You're very welcome, and thank you for coming out. Before I do, and before we get to Jesse, I'm going to hold up, if you can see, my empty bottle here, and I'm going to salute you all with a Joe Weiser and say thank you all for watching us all of this past year, everybody. There you go. All 4 of us are saluting all of you, because, as I said, if it weren't for you, we would all be sitting here talking to each other, and while the company would be nice, it's always fun to see you guys all out there, show after show, week after week, and we wouldn't be here without you and Jeff and myself. And before we get to Jesse, also, I have to say thank you to my co-host from the bottom of my heart, to Jeff especially, and then also to Jodie and Tazzy. But you guys will never know This was a long dream for me. I never got to finish college. I was going to school for journalism, always kind of wanted to be in broadcast journalism in some way, shape, or form. I got to do some things kind of a little bit, DJing and stuff a little bit here and there on the side. But I never got to do what I really wanted to do, and that was get into sports journalism and kind of call things and be a play-by-play guy. Well, I get my share of it now. I get to do it crazy on Impact and crazy for wrestling shows, and I absolutely love it. So I cannot thank you guys all enough from the bottom of my heart to all of you. Jeff, you guys will never know the work that Jeff put into this show. You just will never know. And I couldn't have done this. There is no possible way that I could have done this without everything that he has done behind the scenes from the very beginning. If you guys go back and you guys watch some of our older shows, you will see a show that was put together as an audio podcast turned into what ended up being what you guys saw, and the work that had to go into that week after week after week after week. Again, I can't thank Jeff enough for the work he's put into this show, and what an amazing job he did for us when we first started and before we got into video. And even now, the presentation you saw tonight, all of the, bringing people in, talking to people behind the scenes, you guys don't know the kind of work that goes into stuff like that. And that is all Jeff. I don't do any of that stuff. And that, so thank you to Jeff. Because I would not be here without him. And again, thank you to Jodie for making Mondays a must-see show for many, many people and many of our viewers. Listen, I see it. I may not be with the show anymore, but I see the amount of people that come into those chats, and it's pretty incredible. And it's all about one particular topic. So that's pretty awesome. And of course, Tazzy, you for bringing the positivity that you bring week after week after week. There's no one I hear laugh and has an infectious laugh more than Tazzy does. So again, my shout out to all of you. And also I can't forget to Brandi as well. Brandi, I know she's not here, but Brandi contributed to our show also. And with the hot tag and the things that she did, the research that she put into it as well. So shout out to Brandi and thank you as well. For those shows that you've done. We have some new things coming on the horizon. So stay tuned. We have another show that we're planning. So stay tuned for that. We will let you know as we go and as we get prepared as to what is coming up. So so there you go. Anything you guys want to say, and then we'll pass it on over to Jesse Callan. So Jodie, Tazzy, Jeff, you it's the floor is yours.
I'll go first. Dude, this has been one crazy year, man. From like seeing you guys when you guys first started, it was like, oh, what is this? I was literally in Daisy Chat, and actually shout out C Wrestling because I followed C Wrestling before I started following Days, and then I saw you guys. I'm like, oh, what's this? And then we did the interview. I was like, this is cool. I like this. And then next thing you know. So like seriously, thank you for guys for bringing me on. It's so much fun. It's like it truly, guys. It really is a family. It really is a family. It's like an extended family, and I love you guys so much, man, for just bringing me on. I'm not trying to keep the tears away, but seriously, dude, this has been so much fun. And guys, just to let you know. We are going to get the insiders on the party. We are going to get them on the party. We're working on it now. Matter of fact, in a couple of weeks, actually. Just stay tuned. Just stay tuned.
Always stuff in the works, isn't there, Jodie?
Obviously, I love all of you guys. I love my co-hosts, but I especially want to give a shout out to Jeff because Abby's wouldn't be the same without him. Like. He and I work so well together and bounce things off each other so well that we just gel really great. We always have. And I think that's a really big positive for why that, not just because it's about Bray Wyatt, but because me and Jeff we just gel well together talking about Bray Wyatt. We kind of know what each other's thinking all the time. So I think it just works. I really enjoy doing all of the watch alongs with all of us. I love it when we're all together because it's just fun. Obviously, a lot of love to all you guys out there too. I love being able to, Bray Wyatt's someone that's very important to me and has helped me get through a lot of difficult times in my life. And I like being able to share that with other people and being able to share how awesome he is with other people. So thank you to you guys for asking me to come on and giving me my own show to kind of run with it. And I'm glad that everybody's enjoying it.
Awesome. Last but not least, my co-host, my partner in crime in all this. The floor is yours, my friend.
Oh man, you guys know I'm a crier, so I'm gonna not talk very long because the tears will roll. Honestly, this has been such a fun ride. There have been ups and downs, just like everything in life, but it's crazy. When I put a video together and it'll go up on the channel, but just looking at the growth that we've had, I mean, my God, the fact that people stuck around and kept watching our show with some of the graphics that I did in the beginning, I'm just in awe because you guys had to deal with that. But no, I mean, I really do appreciate all the kind words and everything. Hopefully people know when they see, our show and see things that we put out there that is done with care and compassion. Because, I want to make sure that we provide the best quality for everyone that tunes in every week. I also do that because the people that I'm here with tonight, they're friends. And I feel like if I put something out there that makes us shine, it's not about me. It's about the team. It's about the family. So I feel like, if I put a little extra time in there to do something, if I stay up just a little bit later or wake up just a little bit earlier to do a graphic or whatever it is, it makes the team, it makes us shine. And, there are a lot of things that will change. I mean, next week, when you guys listen to the podcast, the theme, the intro will change a little bit. You see the logo behind me. In terms of branding, we're gonna do some things a little bit different. You'll probably see a little bit more of this logo that's behind me. And it's all for evolution and growing. That's what we want to do. When Joe and I first started this thing out, it was honestly just two guys that love wrestling that wanted to share that with everybody else. And now that we've seen the way that this thing is taking off, I honestly think the sky's the limit. And, if we can reach more people to share what we do, because it's not about us. It's about creating a community of inclusion and fans that aren't all wrapped up in hating on one thing or hating on something else. It's about being together. You can like whatever you want to like. And that's what we promote. Like, you like whatever you want to like, dislike whatever. But even if you dislike something, you don't have to crap on whatever it is. And that's what we want to bring to the wrestling, to the IWC, because my God, if you get on Twitter, some of the worst crap you'll see in this community oozes out of the pores of the trolls on Twitter. So we want to be a beacon of light, and again, thank you to all of the folks that have rocked with us from day one. I mean, it's been a fun ride. It's nowhere near being over. So yeah, like Tazzy says, like we say, get your popcorn ready.
Get your popcorn ready. Yes. Like I said, we've got new things. Because again, if you don't evolve, you stagnate. And so, yes, we are going to evolve. You've seen some little subtle changes. That logo in back of me, don't really use it as much anymore. So, yes, there will be some changes. So those of you who have that older logo on T-shirts and stuff like that, it's going to be a collector's item someday because that may change. Little stuff.
And I have two of them.
See, Jodie's got a couple. I know I have one with the bigger circle logo and one with the Insiders logo on as well.
I will say this. Stay tuned, because there are two things that are coming. Well, 3. New show. Maybe 4 or 5, but we might have an announcement about a website. And merch through a different company, and not just shirts, but different items that will have our branding on it. So stay tuned, because we're gonna have some stuff for all of you guys to be able to rock and support the Insiders. So.
You know what Joe's going to have? Joe's going to have an Insider's cane. So when my knee gives out one day, then I'll be able to use my Insider's cane to walk. So, yes, that will be a thing.
You know me. I want a coffee mug because I'm a coffee mug.
Yeah, hey.
So I want a coffee mug.
Hayden says, July this year will be my first anniversary since I joined Wrestling Days community. I enjoy hanging out with you guys in the chat, especially the Insiders crew, Jeff, Jeff, Jodie, and, of course, Tazzy. Yeah, thank you, Hayden. And yes, Hayden has been part of our streams for a long time, as a lot of you have. Oh my God, yes.
I just realized we got to do this again in a couple months.
Yeah.
I completely forgot about that. We got to do this in a couple months.
That's true. Yeah. Oh, man. Well, yeah. So there you go. All right. We have Jesse, I believe. Do we have Jesse on audio?
We do.
Oh. Hi, Jesse.
Hi.
Jesse's here. And we know what time it is if Jesse's here. It is time for Callan Corner. And it's a live Callan Corner. You guys actually get to hear Jesse telling jokes as opposed to throwing them out in the chat. So how cool is that? Jesse did really want to send us a video. But yeah, as things, things happen. Life happens. Life happened to a few people today. And that's just a part of it and part of the way it goes. Again, Jesse, no worries at all. Things are more important than that. And we really appreciate you being a part of our show every single week the way it is. So, all right, Jesse, let him have it. And see wrestling, of course, with his comment, even better for sleeping to be live.
Yeah. I see his comments, hater. I can call you a hater out loud now. I don't even have to type it out.
It's not even in our Skype calls.
I see his comment on the screen.
Yep.
But yeah, hello everybody. I actually did want to come on here earlier, and I was all set to, but I didn't realize I had to scroll down and hit the little button to enter in. So then when Joe said, we're to our last person, I said, oh, crap. So, yeah. But anyway, so I have several jokes for you guys. Yay! Yay! And I would tell a joke about pizza, but it's a little cheesy. So we'll just leave that one
there.
Okay.
We're off to a good start.
See, I'm glad I read these ahead of time because I'd sit here and laugh while I'm reading them the whole time. I'm still going to laugh, but, oh well. I'll try and do this all civilized. Joe reads them so well that I'm better off just typing them instead of saying them, but it's all good. So, anyway, I ran into my ex in town yesterday. Then I backed up and I ran into him again.
Ta-dum. Yes. All right. Very nice. I'm liking the start.
Yeah,
I
we're
like
doing
that.
things, man. Hey, what did the baby corn say to the mommy corn?
I have no idea. What did it say?
Where's popcorn?
Oh.
Hey, I got one for y'all. Jumper Cable walks into a bar. The bartender says, I'll serve you, but don't start anything. But hey, I got a question for you guys. Okay. Why is Peter Pan always flying? He never lands. I love this joke because it never grows old.
Oh my God.
And we're always talking about B-Tazzy's parties, but I want to ask the question, how do you organize a space party? You plan it.
Oh man.
Last but not least, for all the peoples, what did the buffalo say to his son when he left for college? Bye,
What did he
son.
say?
That's all of them.
I like that one. That was funny.
Oh.
But as I jump back and see the chat, so I could see all the laughter and see the Z's and sleepy faces from my hater critic C Wrestling. But before I go, I did want to say that you guys are awesome, and I've enjoyed being here, watching your podcast grow for the last year. Fun fact, I think I started my channel about a couple weeks after you guys, and you guys are showing the difference between what hard work and actually posting content does versus me, who puts one thing a month and has less than 200 subscribers. But y'all are kicking butt, so keep on being awesome and keep on growing, which I know you will. I'm happy to be a part of this and happy to bring you jokes. So thanks.
Thank you, Jesse. And it's okay. It's okay, Jesse, because you know what? You could be the long-term storytelling of YouTubers. There you go. That's what you are. You don't give people too much, and leaves people wanting more. So there you go. There's nothing wrong with that.
See, you got it. You figured me out, man. That's exactly what it was. I just wasn't going to say it is all.
Oh my goodness. Well, like I said, what would we be without the jokes from Jesse Callan? And again, see, this kind of stuff all goes back to the very beginning. And back to when we used to hear Jesse or actually see, we didn't hear her at that point, but we would see her in the chat talking about her visits to the grocery store. So I mean, it goes back to that. Oh my goodness. Good stuff.
Toilet paper. That's where this joke started.
Yep. The whole thing about Jesse buying toilet paper from the grocery store.
2 ply is all I wanted, man. What am I going to do with that 1 ply?
Oh my gosh. Awesome. Thank you, Jesse, and thank you for being a part of the show every single week and sending everybody home with a laugh at the end of our podcast. Can't thank you enough for doing that. Really, really, really appreciate that. So, guys, it's been a long night. I get it. Appreciate you those of you who have stuck around.
Someone wanted the I love it, so I love it.
There you go. There you go. Appreciate you all sticking around. Those of you who have. Appreciate everyone who came on and joined us tonight in this celebration. Kyle Scarborough, Marie Shadows, Conrad, C Wrestling, Rusty Shackelford, and of course Jesse. Thank you all. Because again, without the interaction from you, we would not be here where we are now. So thank you all for taking time out of your night to come and join us for our celebration. Guys, that's it. That is our anniversary show. We hope that you enjoyed it. We hope you had a great time. I know we did. It was great to kind of go back down memory lane. And that's kind of what anniversaries are all about. You remember the good things and you remember, look, this has been a trying and tough year for a lot of people, myself included, and a lot of us for personal reasons. It has been a tough year, and getting through this a little bit together is kind of what helps people sometimes. So this has been an escape for me, as I'm sure it's been for others. And I know a lot of you guys come and join us to kind of escape as well. So can't thank you enough. It has been a great year. And like Jeff said, we are not done. We're just getting started. This is going to grow. We're going to branch out. And we're going to get into other things. You heard us talking to Conrad about possibly working together with others. And we're going to do that. We're going to have some new content coming. We may look a little bit different from time to time. I don't know, maybe I'll shave my mustache and I'll look different from time to time. But we'll see.
Well, my hair color is always going to change.
We'll see. We'll see how that.
I'll have an afro on Sunday.
Oh man, guys, thank you so much for being a part of our show, and we hope to see you again. And of course for Fastlane, which will be the next time we will be on. So 6:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time this coming Sunday. Make sure you are there for the start of that show, and that will be Jodie, and that will be Jeff, and that will be Tazzy to start. I will be along as soon as I get home from work that night. So that is it, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for this past year and for the years to come. We will see you all again very, very soon. As we always say at the end of our shows, guys, stay safe. Have a great rest of your night, and we will talk to you all soon. Have a great night, everybody. Take care.
Thank you to the jobbers that want us to thank them.
even the jobbers who come on here. Yes. Yes, even the jobbers we will thank tonight. The jobbers.
Thank you. Jobbers. See you guys later.
Good night, all.